Welcome back, Overwatch fans, to another amazing night.
We have a fantastic match tonight, no question about it.
Oh my god, yes!
Look up a run! Make sure they can't even follow up afterwards.
And Washer's down 2 in this fight thus far. Make that 3, make that 4 right now here. Dynamic team gets a 4-man tire.
Those who find the picks will save the fights, and they don't really need to save what they've already won.
100 and 3 with the primal rage.
Experience tranquility.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to Tranquility Gaming Event Week mid-season. Today, we are doing the 2v2 tournament. And remember, all 3 tiers. We did the EU one not last week, but yesterday, last day, I guess you could say. And that was a banger. We did the Torbjorn and Anna Paintball yesterday. That was a banger. Expect the absolute bangers to continue today. And we got Bowsy here to watch the bangers as well.
Bangers or suffering, depending on how you decide to do it. I mean, I had to help you in some way, Ty, especially because you've been casting every single match this far. So I needed to help you in that respect. But regardless, it's going to be a fun night of 2v2 matchups. It's going to be interesting to see which teams are going to be able to bring themselves out here and which teams are going to be able to take advantage of the limited structure of 2v2.
Yeah, I mean, one thing that we were talking about right before this started, which is something that I have always been a big proprietor of hating absolutely, is pharmacy compositions. Because pharmacy compositions in the 2v2, extremely exploitable. The Mercy's left completely out alone compared to what normally you see in team play where she has other targets to zoom to. It's just the far in that situation. Here's the bracket right down there. Just to let you guys know.
Yeah, obviously there's a lot of teams going through this, and we're going to be starting off on round number 2 right now. It doesn't seem like it's updated, but we're going to be seeing our first matchup here, which is Nemesis with Optibot and Bubbles versus Galactic Penguins with Jonesy and Sticko. So it's going to be interesting to see who will take the advantage here in this matchup. Nemesis, who have a clear tank and kind of DPS player, or Galactic Penguins, who are running a combination of both tanks. Both tanks, yes, both tanks.
Well, just means that, I mean, it's first to 3, so you only need to win with Roadhog once, and then you need to win with Winston once, and then, good luck.
Yeah, good luck with the rest. Have that Roadhog pick in handy and be able to bring it out into their favor. So it'll be interesting to see how these two teams react to that, and it'll be interesting again to see the compositions. Obviously, Pharmacy is probably going to be most predominant, especially here in Harmony tier and Discord tier and Transcendence tier and any tier, pretty much. But it's going to be interesting to see what other compositions people run, what other heroes are going to be mainstays when it comes to this, and who's going to be able to get those victories first in order to win out the series.
Yeah, and speaking of interesting things, would like to bring this up real quick. As you know, we have the charity going on as we have all week Project Hope. If you donate to that, then you'll be effectively doubling your dollar donation to help the refugees in Ukraine who are currently going through the largest humanitarian crisis in modern history. Because every single dollar that you donate, we get $1 from Project Hope as well donated. So if you donate $25, that's $50 effectively. But another interesting thing to help motivate you guys is this little bottle right here, which we were talking about all night. These guys are terrified for me, and they really don't want me to do this, but I'm going to do it if we hit $250. Some of this 7 million Scoville, the end flatline hot sauce, is going onto my tongue. Not directly, not going to pour it on because I'm not a maniac, but it's going in me if we get $250.
I've tried to tell Ty to at least have a bottle of milk ready, and
I do. Not a bottle of milk, but I have like this cup, which is like half full of milk, so I listen to you.
Is it only milk in there?
Only milk in there. It's not pilk.
Okay, that is good. At least milk is in there, so you have milk ready. Because surprisingly enough, fun fact for all you kids at home, milk actually is better against spicy foods than any water because it gets rid of the spiciness inside of like any sort of chili peppers or whatnot. So definitely good to have for those spicy foods. But if you want to see Ty suffer live on broadcast for the second night in a row, then you can donate for that. You can also donate for a lot of amazing rewards, especially to help Project Hope. You can donate to get a hygiene kit, to send a hygiene kit, first aid kit, 100 diapers, be able to train a nurse with only $67, all those sort of things that can help Project Hope in their Hope for Ukraine campaign. But we also have other tranquility-based rewards. For $50, you can have myself predict your team 4-0 on predicting tranquility next week. I have to predict you 4-0 and explain exactly why you will win that match. That's definitely an option there. For $100, you can have Mr. Yeti send you a Yeti mug. There are several options there, and all of it goes to a great cause here. We're going to be getting started with our first matchup, Nemesis versus Galactic Penguins on Eco Point, Antarctica.
Yeah, and this is always a fun map. I'm expecting both teams to make me suffer and run the pharmacy composition, a very popular comp to see here, and actually no, both opting in for the early hog play.
Yeah, Orisa Hog on the side of Galactic Penguins with Nemesis running the Hog Moira composition. So more heals on the side of Nemesis, but you have that extra shield pressure for Galactic Penguins. It's all going to come down to who can get the first hook. And already a big pick coming out from Jonesy. Gets that first hook right there.
Potentially losing out on some of that damage, pulling Optibot back. But Bubbles, if you can get a Coalescence here, that's going to be really, really good because you're going to be able to keep up Optibot, keep Jonesy and... or Jonesy, I should say. I'm used to the Icelandic. And oh, but it's a big hook onto Optibot, but the healing is too strong from Bubbles and Optibot.
Definitely really good job here from Optibot and Bubbles to be able to keep this Roadhog alive. Optibot goes for the hook onto the high ground, trying to get Sticko, who's up there, but unable to get that hook connection. And now Bubbles and Optibot still trying to stay alive. A missed hook from Sticko could mean the difference here, but you already see that Coalescence for Bubbles, 50% build up, but now Optibot's about to have his whole hog online, which could be just desesperating. Oh, that could also be devastating.
Jonesy, any damage they take is permanent. Really low HP, but it doesn't matter. Sticko goes sicko mode and takes out 2. Even if they didn't kill them there, they had both ultimates available, and as we all know, tank ultimates are probably the most impactful in the game, if not support ults.
Yeah, we also want to shout out someone who did it, someone who actually donated off stream. Cry donated $6.28 before we even went live here today. Thank you, Cry, for your donation toward Project Hope for Ukraine campaign as we get ready for the second round. And oh, there's your pharmacy, Ty.
Again, not a big fan of it because in a composition like the double soldier comp, it feasts on that Pharah, it feasts on that Mercy, especially if Jonesy doesn't stay away from the crosshairs of the other players. It's going to be really, really hard to make this work, and an early rocket might make it work all on its own.
Already a lot of damage going on to the Galactic Penguins duo right now. Jonesy and Sticko able to stay alive, however. Right now, Nemesis need to try and prioritize this Mercy pickup, but you already see that Sticko's trying to raid havoc here in the backline here, trying to get Bubbles, and will be able to eliminate Bubbles, and now gets the kill on Optibot. Galactic Penguins up 2-0.
Lot of good focus fire from the one player who can focus fire. Sticko gets the good rockets, gets the good shots, and Optibot and Bubbles don't quite get the rotations that they need in order to stay alive there, and it's match point already.
Already is match point here. Again, it is a 1-3 here in these death matches and no extra rounds, just that 1-3. And we're already seeing that the Nemesis duo want to try and go back to this Hog Orisa style. They want to try to stick with this Hog. But Jonesy now on his signature Reinhardt with Sticko being able to speed boost him. I'm expecting some fast charges here from the Galactic Penguins. We'll see if they're able to set him up.
You do have a brick wall to go into, though. Bubbles able to pop that Fortify and make it all nullified unless the pin goes onto Optibot. Already really fast, and yep, there it is. Hook, invincibility from the Orisa, and any damage this Orisa takes, again, is permanent. So Bubbles already 108 HP.
Yeah, definitely. The Orisa causes this sort of aggression level here from Nemesis. They have a trouble where this Orisa is just going to get piled on, especially when there is a rampaging Reinhardt in your backline. And now the charge from Jonesy trying to get rid of Optibot, but be able to finish off the kill. But right now Optibot is stuck in a situation where he needs to either survive or he's going to have a really hard time doing so. He has this hook online. He still has that take a breather every 8 seconds, but will it be enough here, Ty?
We're going to have this whole hog pretty soon. Jonesy and Sticko have control of the objective if they so desire with the healing and shielding from those two players, and really all you need is a good pin to cancel out a breather potentially, and you might just win this. Playing aggressive, good hook, brings him down to the lower ground. Sticko taking half their HP from a nice scrap shot with his whole hog. All you need is one vape, it's up online.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Even with that, the control point is going to be unlocking here, and Galactic Penguins will have more sustain. Optibot's just trying to make sure that Jonesy can stay off that high ground, and now he's got this whole hog to try and rain havoc. Boops Jonesy off along with Sticko, but it's not enough to keep them off the point. Right when the point is about to unlock, Jonesy extremely low, but just barely able to survive thanks to that healing from Sticko.
Yeah, the healing is still very, very low, only about 23 HPS, and the pin doesn't quite hit, and it looks like Optibot's the one who's hitting the hook as well. Sticko at 1 HP, the melee finishes them off. The Roadhog finding some use in the end. The top tier hero in the 2v2.
Definitely, because you have that sustainability, you have that large hero pool, and you have very easy hit kills here. Nemesis were able to put themselves here on the board against the Galactic Penguins, but now that Orisa and Roadhog are out of the equation, so now they need to try to get crafty here with these compositions and find a way to exploit Jonesy and Sticko here. Jonesy and Sticko once again sticking with that Ryan Lucio, but Optibot and Bubbles now going for the Echo Farah duo, not the Pharmacy duo this time.
That is an interesting one. Sorry, I'm just eating some of these fries because we're getting no donations. I don't have to worry about the hot sauce, but I mean, it's a lot better than the Pharmacy in my opinion because you're not stuck up in the sky, and it's really good against the Brawl comp because you can easily avoid it with the burst mobility that Echo provides.
And definitely, it's going to be a lot harder here for Jonesy and Sticko to really stay alive. They're actually just waiting for the perfect opportunity to make their way into that sort of area. Maybe just wait for the control point to unlock. But Optibot, I think, might know that they are there. So they're looking for the opportunity to make that sort of engage. So we'll see what the move is here. Obviously, Jonesy and Sticko just waiting. Probably just going to wait out and wait for this control point, honestly. It's going to be a boring, 5 minutes here.
I mean, yeah, it's definitely something that can easily work with this duo. You might want to consider trying to run an Ana with it instead, or a Baptiste, to keep the Reinhardt up alive a little bit longer on the objective, force it a little longer. But Lucio speeding around does cover more matchups, so I can definitely understand why you pick it.
Well, while these two are waiting for the control point to unlock, we'd like to remind you that we are accepting donations for Project Hopes for Ukraine campaign, and now they finally start making their advance here. Jonesy and Sticko immediately leave that little cover that they've been staying on, and as I expected, they just want to go straight for the point. The problem is with Optibot and Bubbles, they won't be able to have that point presence, but that doesn't matter because Sticko's already dead.
No healing available for Jonesy. Any damage will stick, and even the Mercy Bubbles can just pop a couple of shots at the Reinhardt. Do some impactful damage. Just slowly whittle away this tank on the objective.
Yeah, it's just going to take a little bit. The point is unlocked. Any sort of step off can be detrimental here for either side. Jonesy just trying to swing that hammer and grab any damage onto Optibot. Progress goes up here for Galactic Penguins. They start making their way to the point, but Bubbles has been caught out by Jonesy. And now that support is dead here for the side of Nemesis. Optibot is the only last remaining person here, and Jonesy is 94 health. He has to be extremely careful with this shield. Make sure it doesn't get bursted down. Use this natural cover that Echo Point Antarctica allows for. It's going to be hard here for Optibot, but he has to try and find an advantage in some way.
The sticky is all it needs to fell the Reinhardt on the other side, and you just get a full one as well. That's exactly what you need. Bait the aggression. You can't get off the objective, so eventually he's going to have to come to you.
Great move there from Optibot to be able to take the pressure there. Sorry, I was taking a drink of water. As you can tell, my throat has been kind of clogged up. This is what happens when you have a peanut butter and jelly sandwich for dinner 30 minutes before cast. But still going to be interesting to see now. It's 2-2. Next winner moves on to the semifinals here. And we already see differences on both sides. Jonesy and Sticko going for the Soldier Diva. Optibot and Bubbles, the Zen Mei.
It's not something you see every day. It does provide a lot of long-range pressure with two high-damage range DPS heroes. Surge and is not technically a DPS, but he can feel like one at times. And Mei, neither of these heroes have damage fall-off. That's a small thing to consider, and they have self-sustain, so you can easily get a lot of offensive pressure from these two.
Yeah, definitely. It's going to be interesting to see how these two fare out. Optibot falling a little bit low. Definitely what you want to watch for there is Optibot's health pool. Remember, Zen only has 50 health, 150 shields that regenerates over time. And it doesn't matter if the Diva just dives right on top of you, however. So already you see Sticko gets that big pick off. But Optibot is able to eliminate Sticko's mech. Jonesy almost gets Optibot, however. So it's going to look rough here. Or Bubbles, excuse me, not Optibot. I'm getting confused. Usually they swap their roles, but still, it's going to be interesting to see what the response is here from Bubbles and if they're going to be able to bring this back.
Not looking so. 100 HP left for the Mei. Cryo used as well. If you get a good freeze onto the Soldier 76, is potentially winnable. It looks like you do. Now, all you need is the Baby Diva, but he's too powerful. You can't stop the baby. Galactic Penguins will be continuing on.
Yep, great pressure there from Galactic Penguins running that composition. Also, yes, it is the April Fool's Day patch, everybody. So now you're going to be seeing these very weird googly eyes spinning around as the play of the game is presented by Optibot. It's like they've always been here. But yeah, really good pressure there from Galactic Penguins being able to take advantage of the situations. Nemesis almost brought it back. They were able to take advantage of the situations that Galactic Penguins forced themselves into. So now we have a situation. So now it's going to be interesting to see what this next match is going to entail here and how these two teams are going to be going on as we move along through the tournament. But now we're going to be heading up to the Discord tier for our first match over in Discord tier. And it's going to be Domination versus Inferno Foxes.
Yep, specifically, our players are Brent and Sleepy Bear versus Cucumber and Wolf. And not sure where these names did come from, but if I'm going to give any guesses, I'm going to say this guy has a particular furry-based main in Smash Brothers. Wolf, that's just, I don't know why I felt like bringing that up, but I did. So there's a bracket down there. Let's move on as fast as possible.
Yeah, definitely. We're going to be heading into the match here very soon. It's going to be on Castillo, so different scenery, different sort of setting that you can have here. Not as much natural cover as Eagle Point Antarctica has, so it'll be interesting to see how these two teams and these four players are willing to play to that advantage. And let's see, it's starting off right now. We do not see any Pharmacy. It's a Rissa Hog on the side of Domination, while Inferno Fox is running the Brigitte Sigma.
I quite like these comps. Again, you don't have any self-sustain for this Orisa. She has to just not take damage a lot of the time. But Wolf and Cucumber don't have long-range damage themselves. So you don't have to worry about Brent being chunked down by something long-range like Widow, Ashe, Cass. Anything with long-range poke damage, you can just have Sleepy Bear run around the map, try and kill this Brig. And not like that, though.
Yeah, I think what we're seeing from Inferno Fox, they just want to set up a kill box and a sort of like massive CC situation here. But Domination already scouted it out here with their Roadhog, who is the most sustainable of the two tanks. So Inferno Fox's plan unfortunately goes to waste here. But it's definitely going to be interesting to see how long Cucumber stays alive on this Brigitte. Brigitte, obviously one of the most sustainable supports in the game, has that Inspire healing that can keep themselves up so long. Can't really die as a result. That's why Goats was such a predominant meta, because Brigitte existed. But it'll be interesting to see how Inferno Fox does. Really good block there from Wolf and Cucumber from that hook coming out from Sleepy Bear. But making a long rotation here, Ty. We'll see if they're able to take any sort of advantage of it.
Yeah, you need to keep your distance away from this Brigitte. Great halt hook onto Wolf, forcing Cucumber down. You're going to need to kill Wolf, and you do. Cucumber with no bash. It's just a pinata with no string at this point. Just beat it down, and you will win this round eventually.
Yep, Domination taking advantage of those halt hooks, being able to get the right hook that they needed and be able to take the advantage here 1-0 thus far in this series as we're heading on to the second round. There's Brigitte's shield just lying there, and it's gone. Vanished, disappeared. It was never there to begin with. But it'll be interesting to see if we see any sort of different composition coming out from Inferno Foxes. Obviously, that was a composition that relied so much on close range damage and CC ability, and what do you know? They're just going to be switching over to the tried and true Pharmacy, while Domination run the Lucio's Doomfist, so the fast punching is what they're going to be trying to go for here.
Yeah, I mean, this is a little bit of an unfortunate matchups here. You're not going to be able to get these quaked on sort of Doomfist rollouts, and your self-sustain isn't good enough to take multiple rockets at once. Brent already at such low HP. Sleepy Bear?
No.
Are you serious? Are you kidding me,
God.
Sleepy Bear? Do you not want to win tonight?
Sleepy Bear kind of falling asleep there at the keyboard, accidentally throwing himself off the map here. Probably just didn't want to deal with the situation at hand. But regardless, that's going to be Inferno Foxes taking their first round here of this series. Now we're heading into round number 2. We'll see if there's any sort of Pharmacy coming out from Domination this time, or if they're going to be trying to running something different. And they're still running this fast punching style, and now Inferno Fox is switching over to this Brigitte, the Brigitte Sigma combo.
The only thing that can really stop this comp has already been seen and executed. A little bit of a bash and a rock and a little bit of damage as well. You know, that's not where you want to be, Sleepy Bear. In theory, you can stop this comp, but in practice, there's too much stuns to keep you out.
Yeah, right now what Brent probably wants to try and do is drag Cucumber and Wolf to the edge and try to pull off an amazing boop. As you can see, they're just riding around that tower here in the center of Castillo, trying to get all the damage poured in there. But if they are able to get a boop onto the enemy team, then that will set them up for success. As I say that, Cucumber actually hits Brent with the whip shot and knocks him off that high ground. And now Brent just sacrificed himself to the Wolf. So that's going to be another win here for Inferno Foxes, and they're at match point.
Yeah, I think you got to stop playing this Doomfist style. It might work into whatever they pull out next, but you're going to be anticipating it most likely playing some more CC to help stifle whatever you're pulling out here.
Also worth noting, we just got a $30 donation from Fungin. Thank you so much for your $30 donation toward Project Hope for Ukraine campaign as we see the fourth match here. Brent and Sleepy Bear going on the Animal House composition while Cucumber and Wolf going for an Ana Echo composition.
And I keep bringing it up because it's so important. You need to finish this as quickly as possible. No healing for yourselves. Cucumber does fall really quickly. That's the kind of an aggression you need with no supports, no self-sustain. But Wolf, so high in the sky, high and mighty. Brent's going to fall any moment.
Brent's very close to dying as that one health gets beamed to death. Now all that's left is Sleepy Bear, and they're going to be falling to the Echo in the sky. Inferno Foxes take down domination here in the second round of in the first Discord match of the night. In very good style. Brent, however, will get the play of the game, and I'm sorry, I feel like breaking up whenever I see these sort of googly eyes spin like that because it's just ridiculous.
Breaking up? What?
You know what I mean?
No,
Like laughing,
Okay.
like breaking. You know what I'm tired. It has been a long week. It's been a long week. We've been raising a lot of money for charity, and that stuff can happen to you when you raise that much money. Which reminds me, make sure you get your donations in this week for Project Hope for Ukraine. We still have, of course, Ty's very risky goal, but we're also less than $11 away from getting Triage reading a bedtime story after the admin pugs tomorrow night. If you donate $11 within the next few hours or so, we might be able to indeed get Triage reading a bedtime story tomorrow. So it's gonna be interesting to see that as we head into our next match. We're going back to the Harmony tier for Turbo Throwers with Red Mudkip and Shenshin versus F972 with Beto and Mr. Amazing.
Yeah, honestly, I think you guys are just too scared to see what will happen to me if I eat this hot sauce. I think that's why you're not donating. So, I think you guys are absolutely sissies. $220 left. Try me. Come on. You don't think I can take it?
Ty, if there's one thing I've learned, it's to never challenge the chat. The chat always wins.
Yeah, chat might always win, but I mean, it's not looking like they're going to win tonight.
They're gonna win. They're gonna win. I'm telling you right now. I'm warning you beforehand. They are going to win. You never challenge the chat, especially when the chat can just type in !donate in the chat in order to bring yourselves to the event week donation page, so that they're able to donate that sort of money in order to make sure that Ty can indeed drink that hot sauce, or at least have it type of that hot sauce.
Dowsy, what are you doing?
Nothing suspicious. I'm not donating any money thus far. But now we're going to be heading into our second match here for the Harmony tier. And we're heading right back to Castillo here. It's going to be interesting to see if Turbo Throwers or Fahrenheit 972 will take the advantage in this series.
Depending on what Bowsy's doing right now, I think I might be experiencing some Fahrenheit 572 after this. But at the moment, I'm just mostly focused on the game. And we got the Double Soldier comp versus the Echo Mercy. A curious matchup, to be sure.
Yeah, definitely. You have a double hit scan on the side of Turbo Throwers, so obviously they need to worry about that. It'll be interesting to see how they take advantage of that. Shenshin, obviously, I've known as a really good hit scan player. It'll be interesting to see if they step up here. Abito is also a really good flex DPS, but still falls to Shenshin anyway, so it's going to be hard here for Fahrenheit, especially when all they have is a Mercy.
You get in the SR categories, the harder and harder it's going to be to keep yourself alive against the Soldier 76 competition. With so much hit scan damage that can do so much damage, and at any range you're going to be hitting more shots the higher up you go. And real quick, thank you, Jonesy, for the $12, confirming our bedtime story for later on.
Yep, thank you, Jonesy, for donating $12, making us reach $3,000 raised for Project Hope for Ukraine campaign. Thank you so much, Jonesy, for your donation. Know that your money is going to a good cause as we start round number 2 here. Red Mudkip and Shenshin now on the Hanzo Cassidy, while Fahrenheit running the Zen Winston composition. So obviously, one team wants to be dive heavy, and the other just wants to pick you out from afar.
Fades of 2016, any damage again, it'll stick. Beto has the potential to win this through time and effort, and that's a lot of effort to get that sick 4 orb onto the Cassidy, taking out one of the biggest threats to this Winston, who can now jump around freely. It's like he's in a house of, I was going to say in a bouncy castle, but I forgot what it was called for a moment.
I would have thought Animal House, but here you are trying to bring out the logistics. But that's going to be the final kill for Mr. Amazing. And now Fahrenheit tie up the series here, 1-1, heading into round number 3.
I mean, you don't bounce around in an animal house, so you definitely bounce around in a
Says
bouncy
who?
castle. So,
Says
I
who?
mean, well, says the chimpanzee who's going to throw you to the ground if you try jumping around in his place. Are you kidding me?
He's not a chimpanzee, he's a scientist.
Well, he's also a silverback gorilla who is stronger than a chimpanzee, so let's not nitpick. Let's just watch the game. And Cast Tracer again opting for no supports for one of these players, or one of these teams, I should say. Not the best option in my eyes.
I mean, especially when the enemy team is running BAP Roadhog, which means they have a lot of sustainability, and they can shut down this close engage here from Shenshin at any sort of moment. You already see Shenshin already brought down to half health and is not going to use that recall, so that health is down the gutter right now. So be interesting to see if Turbo Throwers can take advantage of their more ranged positioning, but they have to be careful about Beto and Mr. Amazing, because that ranged positioning can falter at any moment. And Shenshin just used a recall, but you see how low health he has right now.
Yeah, any chimp will take down this Tracer, and Mr. Amazing finds it with the right click alone. Cassidy at 4 HP as well. There's no chance you're surviving that one, bud. Time to go back to the drawing board.
Yep, Turbo Thor is back to the drawing board, and now they are facing Fahrenheit 972 at match point. 1 round here for Fahrenheit will bring them forward in the bracket here. So it's going to be interesting to see what Turbo Thors decide to pull out. Do we see that stock standard pharmacy to try and throw off Fahrenheit, or do we see something could be related as quirky? Yeah, I think we all saw this coming. They're switching over to the pharmacy. Beto Mr. Amazing, however, the Ana Wrecking Ball, which, don't get me wrong, Ana is able to help with this far out, but the Wrecking Ball can make a lot of interesting plays here, especially if you use that grapple hook very well. You could get up in front of that far out of space and just chunk damage into them with those bullets if you're able to. But you've got to be careful because your Ana has to heal you.
Yeah, you're already taking a ton of damage. Any damage your Ana takes at this point is going to be permanent for at least a little bit with how there's no biotic grenade. Senshin, he recognizes this, going for the prey, and your Mercy's going to fall as well if you don't start protecting her. She falls. Now it's just Mr. Amazing and Beto. Beto at 2 HP, trying to survive against the Pharah, cannot live. That's about 100 HP missing now from the Pharah, and it's going to be the Wrecking Ball cleaning up Mr. Amazing, continuing into this bracket.
Yep, Fahrenheit 972 blazed their way through this bracket, being able to win here against the Turbo Throwers. And play of the game, no surprise, it's going to Mr. Amazing on the Wrecking Ball with those spinning eyes to boot. Should I mention the top donator? Donation diff here in the 2v2 elimination bracket here? Might be a case here, but you already see Mr. Amazing doing so much value here. And that Wrecking Ball Ana really was able to work, because again, Wrecking Ball, not really considered a big hit scan pick for like major situations, but can indeed do the damage when it matters, and can do it in a hit scan sense to eliminate those Pharos.
Yeah, and not only that, but it's the mobility to avoid and the self-sustain with that adaptive shields that can provide you with up to, if I'm not mistaken, 250 extra HP. That's 2 damage boosted rockets almost that you get to survive extra, and that's not counting anything your Ana pumps into you as well. Now, we just saw that game, and if I'm not mistaken, we will be moving into, I guess it's right there, but it's
we're moving into Discord bracket, not the Transcendence bracket, Laggy Son. I apologize to inform you about that right now. He has to sort it out. There we go. Now you have the Discord bracket here. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. We're going to be seeing SEAL Team Spuds here versus Joey Esports. I think we're going to be seeing a preview of what could be a very high playoff match here. It's going to be Choice to One and Lastema on the side of SEAL Team Spuds. On the side of Joey Esports, it was Sam and I believe
Harry Styles.
Harry Styles. Thank you for helping me out with that, because I did not catch the name there. But it's going to be interesting to see how these two face off. Obviously, Sam on the side of Joey Esports, they are a really well-acclaimed DPS player, so it'll be interesting to see how they perform here up against the side of SEAL Team Spuds. But already some interesting compositions coming out. Choice 2-1 and Lastema on the Hog Ana, with Joey Esports on the BAP Sigma.
Yeah, strategically a little bit better composition. Surprised we haven't seen more Ana, more Baptiste tonight. Those two heroes can find so much value. Choice 1 doesn't find as much value as they might want, but does give Lastema a decent chunk of ult charge.
And that's really what you want to do right now as Iana. Try to find that nano charge. Choice 2-1 dropping a little bit low and actually drops off the high ground as well. So they've got to try to retreat to the comfort of Lastema. They will be able to here. So it's going to be interesting to see. It's all going to be a poke game right now. And in the long run, Harry Styles has the advantage here with these orbs, being able to shoot them at sort of angles. So be interesting to see what the move is here from the enemy team. As you already see Lastema trying to go for that anti-nade. Choice 2-1 dropping very low, but just barely able to survive by the skin of his teeth. But be interesting to see what the move is here from Joey, as they're just comfortably sitting in this bunker. Right now, it's just 2 bunker compositions, except one has a shield and the other has an anti-nade.
Yeah, the thing I'm most concerned about is Sam coming up to the amplification matrix 60%. Big bio nade, but I mean, with this composition, you don't have a lot of way to capitalize on that, but you do get about 10% of your ult charges, the honest. That's big, and so is that hook!
Massive, massive hook coming out from Choi Soo-hwan to eliminate Sam right there. Now, Harry Styles, all that damage is permanent. Okay, Choi Soo-hwan, I see how it is. Just delaying the inevitable. But Lastema is already dropping very low here. You got to be careful if you're SEAL Team Spuds. You could throw the game here, or at least lose that kiddable Ana pick that is most of your heals. No, you won't. Choi Soo-hwan just able to finish out Harry Styles in the aftermath, and that's going to be SEAL Team Spuds taking round 1.
Yeah, you're not losing out to the Roadhog, even if it's a 1v1. That hero does too much in these free-for-all or not free-for-all, but deathmatchy 2v2 settings that we're so used to watching these games. And realistically, there's no hero who can equal him. He's easily the best deathmatch character in the game, and that does transfer very, very well here. Interesting compositions coming out. I like the Arisa Baptiste.
Yeah, Arisa Baptiste, it's pretty much the exact comp that Joey Esports are running. The same amount of stability, except this time you do not have the movable shield, and instead you have more of a hit scan-oriented hero, or a hero that requires a lot more aim than Sigma, who can just shoot it at the wall and somehow hit the enemy team. Wait, no, I'm thinking of Junkrat. But still, Joey Esports looking for an opportunity here. They have Soldier Diva, and already you see Sam try to go for a flank into the backline and got picked out by Choi Soo-won and Lastema.
Now, you think you're in their backline? Fool, you're the backline inside of them. That is just not something you can escape as the 76, and this looks like it's going to be a 2-0 lead for them, as it's just a toxicity to the Baby Diva.
Punch that Baby Diva right into the ground, and SEAL Team Spuds go to match point here up against Joseph Electronic Sports, so we'll see if Joey Esports are able to bring this back, or else this is going to be a clean sweep here for SEAL Team Spuds. Do we see the pharmacy coming out from Joey Esports here, Ty?
Absolutely not. They recognize the faults in that composition. They recognize that it is not a very good deathmatch 2v2 composition. Both these teams recognize it. We're seeing some more Sigma for Choi Soo-won this time.
Yeah, honestly, I'm surprised that Joey Esports aren't running that, but obviously it's a compositional concern, as, again, the Google guys kind of make me laugh a little bit. But still, you see now that this Hog Lucio composition just wants to be one thing: fast beef. That's literally the only meaning of this composition coming out from Joey Esports. They want to get in there and be able to tank their way all the way into the backline to pick off these important targets. But you have to be careful about Lastema Zen, who could do a lot of damage like that onto Sam. So we'll see if Joey Esports are able to take advantage of this, as it's like the opportunity is just waiting here for the side of SEAL Team Spuds. And that shield from Choi Soo-won is going to make it a lot harder for Joey Esports to hit these hooks.
Yeah, I'm going to call this the pork grind composition. Big Rock and a big Zenyatta as well, capitalizing and taking them down. SEAL Team Spuds will be continuing on into their bracket.
And the first sweep on stream here comes at the hands of the SEAL Team Spuds, taking down Joseph Electronic Sports. If that is not an indicator of what will happen in these playoffs, I don't know what is. But Lastema will get the play of the game here on the Zenyatta. And honestly, this was the pick that really made it. Being able to get this Lucio out of the sky and into the death pit was the difference maker there, and that eliminated pretty much one of the biggest factors of Joey Esports' comp, so they were unable to really respond from that. And in the end, it's going to be SEAL Team Spuds moving on. But now, actually this time, Laggy Son, our producer, we're going up to Transcendence here to meet up with Puerto Rico and Decapitators. Flawlix and Doctor on the side of Puerto Rico, Nagisa and Charybdis on the side of Decapitators. This is going to be an interesting match.
I can't believe I have to look at this man's gamer tag anymore tonight. Charybdis coming into this. That was a nice little rhyme. But Charybdis coming into this with Nagisa, as you say, from the team of Decapitators, moving back over to Eco Point Antarctica. It's going to be a little bit interesting to see how these players can survive and thrive based on the compositions that they choose.
Yeah, definitely. Transcendence here obviously allows itself for a lot more skill, so it's definitely a lot more skill demanding based on those sort of compositions. It'll be interesting to see what these teams come out with. We could see obviously the meta, we could see Pharmacy, we could see that hog play, or we could see a mutual agreement to do Widow Hanzo. Was this agreed ahead of time?
I mean, these guys just want to prove a point more than anything else. I see you. I hear you. You're just trying to make sure that they know that they need to be sat down. The question is who's taking the seat and who will be the one whose rings is kicked. It looks like Charybdis. His knee has been... I'm not... Okay, just go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't going to say anything. I usually just do those reactions, but that was a beautiful, flawless shot coming out from Flawlix there on the side of Puerto Rico. But now... it's a little trouble here for Nagisa as they do not have any support. Look at this man using the rifle. Disrespectful. How dare you use the rifle like a machine gun in a Widow matchup? What are you doing? And also, confirmation, that was a mutual agreement to do a Widow Hanzo matchup to start off. But still, that's not how you do a sniper duel, Flawlix. Disappointed. I wish I could take that point away from you for that. So... now it's going to be interesting to see how these two teams actually decide to respond to this. No surprise, Roadhog on both sides.
Yeah, Ana versus Baptiste is going to be the most critical matchup, but I just can't get over the fact that Flawlix with it's just pure disrespect and pure just disrespect to say, yeah, I'm going to do the Widow 1v1, but also I'm going to SMG you because, you know, Widow SMG should be banned in all Tranquility tournaments from this point forward, and if you disagree with me, you're banned too.
I personally agree. Let's make that a petition right now in the chat. Make it alongside that donation incentive right now. That's right on board for Ty to be able to sacrifice.
Ban the spam.
I mean, let's also put it alongside that donation incentive for Ty to ruin his digestive system on stream. But still, looking for a perfect opportunity here for both sides. Doctor obviously did a little dance to try and distract Decapitators, and they were unable to take advantage of it here. So we'll see what the move is right now. Puerto Rico playing a little bit in that cover. They're probably just waiting for the perfect opportunity to get that perfect hookup, but you already see the poke coming in here from Nagisa and Charybdis.
Yeah, there's not a lot to be doing right now. Just wait. Just play slow, play safe. Don't hedge your bets on any risky plays quite yet because you don't quite have the opportunity to. If you're Flawlix, you want to get this Nano Boost online as soon as possible, so then you have a counterplay for the Nano Boost or for the Immortality Field, and that's a massive sleep.
Oh, yes, and Flawlix will also be able to get the perfect anti-nade onto Charybdis, meaning that Charybdis is almost doomed for death right now, and they will die to Dr. DM here. All that's left is Puerto Rico. All that's left is Nagisa on this Baptiste, and they will have an unfortunate death here to Doctor as well. Puerto Rico go to match point here up against the Decapitators.
Yeah, I mean, there's still definitely an opportunity for Decapitators to make something happen here. There's also an opportunity for you guys in chat to make something happen by donating to Project Hope, the relief organization to help with Ukraine and their conflict at the moment. And remember, if we get $250 donated today, you get to ruin my life and make me eat some 7 million Scoville hot sauce. We currently have got $42, so we only need 208 more. Come on, bring them in. I know you can do it, unless you're too much of sissies.
Listen, you're the one who was wondering what I was doing earlier. You thought I was going to be donating all that $200, but I'm not willing to do that right now. Regardless, Puerto Rico looking for the opportunity here. Flawlix on the Baptiste, Dr. DM on the Sigma. But while the side of Decapitators, they're running the exact same composition here with the Hog Ana. And obviously now they want to have a priority. They have their priorities in check. Nagisa's just going to build up this nano boost for Charybdis. Puerto Rico realizes this, and they're just going to walk away.
Yeah, just make your way out of there. Sorry, I was eating another one of my fries. They're very delicious, but just make your way out. Try and keep yourselves alive. Don't feed too much of this Ana, because the higher they get on that ult charge, the more Charybdis can easily just walk into you. Hook! Barely dodging. Skin of the teeth of Flawlix there.
Yeah, definitely. That was very close to catching on to the Baptiste there for the side of Puerto Rico, which would have meant the death of Dr. DM immediately there. But now you see Puerto Rico, they're just waiting for the perfect opportunity. But look at that ult percentage. Nagisa's at 96% to this nano boost. It could really be devastating here for Puerto Rico.
The sustainability, though, for Puerto Rico, the Immortality Field and the Sigma Barrier is very high. The Nano Boost applied. Kerbitus deciding to go in, doesn't quite land the hook onto the Baptiste. No shots landed yet either. The kinetic grasp is too much. Bionade onto the Sigma. The Roadhog has to start finding some value here. The Nano Boost is gone at this moment. Dr. DM is still kept alive from this Baptiste, almost at full health after being chunked down so hard.
Massive!
It's a massive need! It's Nagisa who gets the follow-up this time. No hogs necessary as Gravitus barely leaves! In a Gravitic Flux, are you serious?
Yep, the Gravitic Flux there from Puerto Rico, but at the end of the day, the Doctor will fall, and that's going to be Decapitators bringing their first map in this series with a very interesting play. It came down not to the Nano Boost, but rather to a perfect anti-nade coming out from Nagisa. Also, a lot of complaining in the tap between Flawlix and Doctor, so yeah, welcome to event week. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how the response is going to be here from Puerto Rico. Okay, this is an interesting response. Baptiste Sombra.
Now that's interesting. Normally, you would see the Sombra paired with something like, I don't know, maybe a Lucio or a Zenyatta, something that can potentially do some crazy stuff that's not very expected. And Kerbitus already takes out Flawlix. What's your plan?
Well, your plan is to hope to God you can find that Zen out of position, but it looks like Kerbitus is just waiting with Nagisa in tow here, so it's going to be a lot harder here. Oh, but they found him. Nagisa is getting picked out here by Doctor and will die. The perfect response there, but now with only 22 health, losing their mind over the fact they were able to pick off Nagisa there, but now it's very do or die here for Dr. DM. It's now Kerbitus at full health. Could shut down Dr. DM just like that.
I mean, Dr. DM was dead to a flashbang, let alone a fan the hammer or just a left click. That's about what should be expected at that moment. And I mean, did you really expect anything less? This has gone to match point.
Yep. Puerto Rico, not only the Map 5 Kings in the preseason or the regular season, they somehow are the Map 5 Kings in the 2v2 elimination tournament. If that doesn't spell karma or ridiculousness, I don't know what does. Speaking of ridiculousness, Ash Mercy versus Echo Mercy.
I mean, the Ash provides a lot more safety and a lot more cover than an Echo can a lot of the time, and the more potential to get long-range pickoffs through hit scan versus projectile. Projectiles can be dodged, projectiles can be easily missed, but, you know, sometimes shotguns can make you hit your head on a ceiling.
We're grateful in the chat for no concussion damage in Overwatch right now, because that would have been an instant death there for Kerbitus. Probably would have to go see the hospital after. You know, you should be visiting Dr. DM, who doesn't die. Flawlix able to get the kill onto Kerbitus there. Unfortunate there. And now Puerto Rico, the Map 5 Kings, continue their dominance of winning Map 5 series. They will win up against the Decapitators.
I mean, the Spuds have been stopped in their tracks, and Dr. DM on the Echo, brilliant performance at the end there to take out your Ash counterpart. And realistically, do you think that this would have had a different result if we didn't have the Widow Hanzo at the start?
I mean, potentially, but we saw that great shot coming out from Flawlix, who obviously knew what to do in that situation, was able to bring it in favor there for the side of Puerto Rico early. So I don't think it would have mattered regardless, but now it's definitely interesting to see that. But now we're going to be heading over to our Harmony tier once again, and we're going to be seeing, oh God, it's another tongue twister. If you remember week 3 or 4, I'm pretty sure it was, the Harmony tier matchup, we're getting a rematch of that. Fire-breathing Rubber Duckies versus Big Bang Buccaneers, Derpy Shark and Drug versus Toxic and Beppo.
That's one of the longest battles I've ever seen in my life. Not through the conflict, but through the name. That's quite a lot of effort. But just would like to remind everybody in chat that if we are to donate money to charity, give money for Ukrainians to be better and have good life. Also, I eat hot sauce and die.
Please don't die on stream. I heavily advise it, but looks like FBRD running out with the Sigma Hanzo composition, so they have this poke damage. No support, however, unlike Big Bang Buccaneers, which have the Ana Hog online here, so they have that sort of close range potential, and they also have that worry that they have to worry about. Good shot there from Drug, unable to get the kill, however, on the Toxic.
Yeah, I mean, Toxic is getting somewhat close to this nano boost already. Beppo not quite taking any breathers, just letting the Ana farm off the Hog, and eventually the Roadhog's going to be able to charge in here and deal as much damage as they want, take as much damage as they want, and into this composition, any non-shield health that's removed from their HP pools is permanent.
Worth noting, Beppo used to be a tank player before he joined Big Bang Buccaneers this season. So
Is he
playing
not
the
still?
Hog- No, he's a DPS player for Big Bang Buccaneers now. So he switched roles this season, wanted to experiment a little bit differently, so now he's on the tank role. And now Toxic has this nano boost for him, might be able to make advantage of it, sends it out there right before he dies to the hands of Derpy Shark. Derpy Shark able to get the kill, but however gets a very peeled down, but now Beppo's all alone here. It's going to be a lot harder considering Drug and Derpy Shark are close to their ults as well.
The big flaw here, Beppo wasn't able to take his breather earlier and get some of this ult charge themselves, only not even at 50% quite yet. This Gravitic Flux doesn't actually hit! It whips from the Hog! The statue
Big.
the Hanzo's dead! This is Beppo's time to shine, just needs to survive the vape! Perfect timing for the take a breather. 249 HP left, a hook just to stall potentially, gets blocked by the Sigma Barrier, 29 HP left, just one more breather needs to be taken, and it does! 90% to this ult! If this Kinetic Grasp isn't available for it, he's going to be felled.
It's going to be very close here between Derpy Shark and Beppo. It's coming down to the wire, but Beppo has the whole Hog online, gets rid of the rock, starts using that Kinetic Grasp here, forces Derpy Shark right off the point, back to the end, just barely able to touch, however, and Derpy Shark just barely able to bring it into their own. Fire-breathing Rubber Duckies will take the first map here on Castillo.
I mean, if this is how the rest of this game goes, that is going to be intense. Excellent first round, and somehow the Roadhog, I think that's the first time I've seen it lose in all of my time casting in general for 2v2 tournament play, and honestly, not sure how they're going to continue from that.
Well, we'll see. Now it's going to be FBRD running the Hog Ana here. And now Big Bang Buccaneers wanting to run Toxic on his signature Echo, with Beppo being the Pocket Mercy. Oh, but you got to be careful about those hooks. If Derpy Shark lands one of those hooks, you are DED dead.
Yeah, I mean, Derpy Shark is taking a lot of early damage, however, and you're relying a lot on this Ana to get the damage in onto the Echo Mercy. One hook coming in doesn't quite land onto Beppo.
Oh, but Toxic has found Drug on the high ground, able to force him down on that Ana, so now they don't have to worry too much about that. But those bullets going in, not enough to seal the deal. Derpy Shark gets the hook kill onto Toxic, and now all that's left is Beppo here on the Mercy, trying to stay alive for as long as he possibly can. But it's a Mercy. It's going to be very hard here for Beppo to try and survive, and Derpy Shark's looking for that final hook to be able to end it off.
But got some good news and bad news. Good news is you're gonna get to keep on playing. Bad news is it's because you lost.
Yeah, definitely gonna be interesting now. Big Bang Buccaneers facing match point against fire-breathing Rubber Duckies. One more map win for the Duckies will send them forward. Big Bang Buccaneers need to try and come up with an interesting strategy soon, or else they're going to be sent home early here in the 2v2 elimination bracket. Okay, this is going to be interesting. It's time for some aerial warfare. Far Mercy versus Echo Mercy.
The thing with this is tri-shots give you better long-range, consistent damage, but too far shots at close range are enough to take out the Echo. So it's going to have to be a pretty close battle between those two, and Drug is taking a lot of damage early. The precise fire from an Echo can do a lot of damage to a Mercy compared to the imprecise fire of a Far, I should say.
Yeah, it's going to be really close here. FBRD's Derpy Shark needs to hit these shots, but Beppo, or Toxic, excuse me, finds the kill onto Drug. Derpy Shark's support is now out of the picture, but he might just be able to eliminate Beppo as I say that. No, he's barely able to bring that Mercy down, and now Toxic will finish out the kill. Big Bang Buccaneers are still in this match.
Yeah, they're still keeping their heads above water, and definitely potential for a reverse sweep, but once you lock out a few of those choices, it can start to feel insurmountable to keep your lead ahead. But once the lead is tied up, then neither team has some of their most critical pieces.
Yeah, definitely. As now we're seeing the team bring themselves out here. Derby Shark and Drug still sticking to this far Mercy, while Big Bang Buccaneers going back to the Hog Ana here. We'll see if it's able to work into their favor, especially now that they have to worry about this Farah. It's going to come down to Toxic or to that beautiful hook from Beppo to get rid of Drug. The Mercy once again removed from the Pharmacy. Oh my god!
No, are you serious? The guy gets 2 hooks in a row, 100% hook accuracy that round. That's beautiful.
It's getting hot in here. Those hooks doing the work that they needed to right there. Beautiful stuff from Beppo. I mentioned he was a tank player before, and he was showing that skill there. And now it's tied up here, 2-2. Next point wins the series between Big Bang Buccaneers and fire-breathing Rubber Duckies. And no surprise, we're seeing a lot of different compositions. Cassidy Mercy on the side of fire-breathing Rubber Duckies. Big Bang Buccaneers running the Baptiste and Soldier.
Mercy is so potent in these 2v2s because it can make one hero feel unstoppable in a 1v1. It is still a 2v2, so you do have to worry about it a little bit, but at the same time, just having a super soldier in the Cassidy can make it really, really tough to stop, but if Drug falls, it doesn't matter.
It really doesn't matter, so you have to be careful here if you're after ID. Make sure that Drug does not die early here on this Mercy. I already see a lot of damage going out on the Drug. Gets separated a little bit from Derpy Shark, but able to bring back. But Derpy Shark finds the pick onto Toxic. That is perfect here for fire-breathing Rubber Duckies. Big Bang Buccaneers. Now all that's left is Beppo here, trying to keep themselves alive here with that field. But it's going to be very hard here for Beppo to try and bring this back. And just like that, the fire-breathing Rubber Duckies will get the revenge on the Big Bang Buccaneers from that feature match earlier this season, and they'll move on to the semifinals in our 2v2 Elim bracket.
Yeah, it was going to be really hard for Beppo to bring that back, but, I mean, at that point, you don't really have much of a shot. It's just the great shots from the Cassidy, and, I mean, I don't even think that hook was aiming for Drug. It was still good on either side, though.
Yeah, definitely. Big Bang Buccaneers showed that they could bring that back. Unfortunately, it wasn't enough to defend themselves against the fire-breathing Rubber Duckies, and at the end of the day, they'll be going home. Now we're heading back over to Discord tier here momentarily, and it's going to be interesting to see how this matchup plays out and which team's able to get the advantage here. It's going to be Prime and Touch from Redacted versus Iconic and Fungin from Space Created. Going to be an interesting match, to say the least.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just going to keep mentioning it. Redacted, one of the my favorite teams I've ever played against as a player. Casting them has been very rare, but the times I have, they've been a very fun team to watch. So I'm really excited to see them, as well as players from Space Created, a team that I'm very interested in coming into this, as they've only really lost 2 maps during the regular season so far, let alone matches are untouched at the moment. So very curious to see how this one's going to run out.
Worth noting, those 2 maps that they lost in the regular season were to Redacted. So definitely going to be interesting to see how these 2 matches fare out and which one is going to be coming out here in the end of it all. There's your Discord bracket right down there. Obviously, still waiting on a few updates. This thing takes a while to update.
Thing on.
Please. Yeah. Is this thing on? Hello? Is this thing working?
Hello?
Work!
Hello?
We're going to be getting into the series here very soon between these 2 teams. It's going to be interesting to see which one comes out on top and which one's able to take the advantage as we start here on Black Forest with a Hog Lucio and Baptiste Sigma.
I just want to give a little bit of love to our producer tonight, Laggy Son, who I'm pretty sure did that little transition thing you saw on his own at some point today. Very, very good job from him to, take it upon himself and make a very nice, pretty transition for us. So, you guys get to see that. And also, you guys also get to see, if you type !donate in the chat, a little bit of a link. You can click that and give some money to people who are in a very unfortunate situation, who, really deserve and need a little bit extra help. So if you do have the ability to give that extra help, please do so.
Yeah, right now Space Created taking a page out of Joey Esports' book right now with the Sigma Baptiste composition. But meanwhile, Redacted, oh, beautiful boom coming out from Touch. That is what you call the miracle touch right there. But the Immortality Field is there from Fungin. It might not be for long as Redacted just piling in onto Iconic right now. It's a little bit challenging here for the Sigma to stay alive, but Fungin is there to try and support them and keep them up in the long run here. It's going to be challenging, but Space Created still in this just barely. That Kinetic Grass keeping Iconic alive, and he's able to get the kill onto Prime. Suddenly, Space Created turn it around. Good job from them.
Yeah, the Roadhog can be a pincushion sometimes. It's such a blatant target that you want to shoot, but sometimes it's better to go for the Lucio. It works out for them in the end the way they do it, but it takes them so long to kill the Roadhog that with just a slightly better decision to potentially go after that Baptiste instead, you could really, really struggle there.
Definitely. Now we head over to our second round here. On the side of Redacted, they're running the Onahog. Oh no, it's a mirror matchup.
Yeah.
Okay, now it's going to be interesting to see which team takes the advantage here. Obviously, you want to have that anti-nade to eliminate that Roadhog. You can get those hooks off when you need them, so it's going to be interesting to see if Redacted or Space Created get the advantage here. And already you see, Redacted want to play a little bit more passive. Space Created want to go on the advance.
Yeah, I mean, it's really up to who's better with this composition at this time. I mean, there's no other real determining factor. You can't blame it on the comp. You can't blame it on the comms. It's all up to who can play the better Roadhog on a, sometimes the individual play, sometimes it's the team play, but, it's just whoever wins this round can truly say they're the better team. No crutches necessary.
Well, I mean, you can blame it on one thing, and that could be the skin selection. I mean, the LA Gladiator skin versus the Junkenstein's Monster skin, that can definitely play an impact in terms of the hitboxes and whatnot. What do you mean I didn't hook the Roadhog?
I mean, I keep saying it, nobody else agrees with me, but, I mean, right there, the skin diff doesn't quite matter for the hitboxes, but it's about, the mentality. It's about the drive. It's about the power of the skin, and it's the Roadhog with the Junkenstein's Monster skin who ends up winning, and that makes sense based on the quality of the skin.
I hate that I knew you were going to say that. I hate that I knew you were going to say that. But yeah, that match kind of followed the basic Roadhog rules. If you hook first, you lose. But now it's going to be interesting to see what the two teams bring out. Onahog now removed on the side of Redacted as they tie up the series here. And now coming out of a spawn room, Fungin and Iconic staying on that Onahog, but Touch and Prime switching over to the Baptiste Soldier here. So they have a lot of hit scan and a lot of range.
Yeah, I mean, it's the double 76 comp, if you ask me. They have a lot of damage potential. Oh, that's a good stretch. But, I mean, Iconic is such a good damage sponge that you don't have to potentially worry about how much damage you're taking and just move Fungin to the places where they want to be. And as long as you corner Prime and Touch at some point, you'll be good.
Yeah, definitely. Redacted now staying once again in their shelter. They've been doing this a lot. They've tried to play a really passive game and wait for the opportunity to engage. Oh, but that's a big sleep coming out from Fungin to shut down Prime a little bit. Iconic looking to flank into the back line. The enemy team knows that guess what? The Hog knows that you're gonna die. Iconic gets that beautiful hook onto Prime and now touches the remaining member here for Redacted. They gotta try to make some big plays, but they're trying to find Fungin.
Name says Iconic, looks like Sato Roadhog to me with that level of a flank, and it's just a support diff at that moment. You get Dove on as a support, just kill the other supports. Easy forehead.
Yep, it's just that easy. You apply that to every Overwatch game ever, and you have won every Overwatch game ever. But now, right now, Space Created in match point right now up against Redacted. It'll be interesting to see what they pull out here for this fourth round and which team's going to be able to take it home in the end. Again, Roadhog and On are removed from the side of Space Created. So now they're going for the Lucio Winston, while Touch and Prime go for the Brigitte and Sigma. High sustain on Redacted, high dive ability on Space Created.
It's not even just the sustainability either. It's the amount of CC that you can pump out. A bash to a rock in a 2v2 setting, if you don't have Immortality Field, you don't have a Roadhog E button to push, or even just a barrier. Oh, this sneaky.
Yeah, they're just waiting for the perfect opportunity. Not even breaking down the doors. They're just waiting in this small little area, just trying to pick them out. Redacted don't know they're there. Prime might eventually know that they're there because they're starting to set. Yep, they know. Now they know. They've gotten a little bit of damage onto Iconic, but now Iconic has found the Brigitte of Touch, dives right onto that Brigitte, and gets picked out by Fungin. Reddit Lucio indeed coming into the picture here for the side of Space Created. Now Prime is all on their own. No heals, no sustain, apart from that rock and that kinetic grasp. But look at the enemy team. Tell me you're going to be able to kinetic grasp half of these people.
Well, I mean, you can technically kinetic grasp. So it's the nice rock that tries, but it doesn't quite land. The bubble does block it. Prime does fall, and that's going to be a 3-1 victory for the space-created players. Redacted will be sitting this one out.
Really good job there from Space Created, taking advantage of the compositions they had. And
It doesn't have googly eyes.
Play of the game.
very interesting. Okay, we have found a problem. That probably has to do with the highlight intro, or that probably has to do with the victory pose. Yeah, definitely probably has to do with the victory pose there. Fungin will get the play of the game and gets that highlight intro, as I mentioned there. But yeah, you can see Space Created just taking advantage of the situations that they needed to and be able to win those matches out in the long run here. So it's gonna be interesting to see what the move is here from the side of Space Created as they go on. But now we're heading back over to the Transcendence tier. And it's time to watch an absolute carnage of the Greek gods face off. Zeus versus Carnage is up next. Dragon and M1A3 on the side of Zeus. Carnage have Nick and Ravage.
Yeah, we saw a little bit of Nick the other night, if I remember correctly. They played extremely well when they were playing. I believe it was the Widowmaker. You correct me if I'm wrong. Probably wrong. I apologize about that. But it's going to be very interesting to see another Transcendence game go on. And if I'm not mistaken, let me double check. Okay, I'm mistaken. Don't worry about it. Ignore me. Good game. Hope that there's no pharmacy. Ha ha ha.
I question your logic sometimes, Time Unster, but
Many
we're going to be
people
getting
do.
started here on Black Forest. Right now, it looks like Dragon and M1A3 going over to the Moira Hog, while Nick and Ravage go for that fast charge composition. It'll be interesting to see if that Reinhardt plays into the favor here. But you already see they know that this Hog is alive, and they know that he is a parent.
Yeah, I'm going to call this the pinpoint comp because I find it very enjoyable. The speed lets you catch up to the Moira. Good pin. Does 50 damage to both enemies. You take a lot on your own side, but this Moira does have the full tank available to heal up this Roadhog. Not going to get any from the shield, but, I mean, you can still heal plenty yourself. The heal orb used, so if Nick and Ravage want to try and play aggressive at any point, they easily can.
Definitely, and I'm very curious to see how Ravage uses these charges. Black Forest obviously has this very bad edge. You see it right there on the right side there, now in front of Nick here. We'll see what they decide to do as Ravage starts making the engage. The hook is canceled, goes to the charge, misses the Moira, so it's going to be hard here for Carnage now that they're split, and Nick is stuck in a bad situation. It's going to get even worse because he's sent back to the grave.
Nick's dead! Nick has fallen and cannot get up the pinch of disrespect onto M1A3. Roadhog destroyed, and it's this is a little bit of silliness.
A little bit. We do a modest amount of tomfoolery here in Tranquility Gaming Event Week, but now that is one up here for the side of Zeus over Carnage. So it's gonna be interesting to see what the response is here from Carnage. How are they going to be able to try and respond? What heroes are they going to pick instead? And what is Zeus going to pick now that Moira and Roadhog are out of the equation? The answer, Echo Mercy. And once again, Carnage run the Lucio Reinhardt. Yeah, this is going to get a lot harder.
Yeah, one's going to be ugly. M1A3 knows where they're going, trying to get this sneaky little play from them. But Ravage, he now hears where the tri-shot comes from. And that knowledge is obtained that they have this Echo Mercy composition. At this point, might just want to play safe, play back, play defensive, not try to make anything too aggressive happen, and heal up, wait for the capture point.
Definitely, it's going to be interesting. Nick dropping very low, and will get burned to the ground by M1A3. Big pick there from Zeus already. And now Carnage, again, stuck in a situation where all that's left is Ravage on this Reinhardt. Doesn't have any hit scan now, so we can't really deal with the issue at hand. So now it's going to be a lot harder here. I would not be surprised if we see Ravage for the second time in a row go for a charge right off the bat.
Yeah, you're stuck between a rock and a cybernetic woman with multi-high-powered explosives and also triple Star Wars-style blaster bolts. And, you know, I choose the rock at this point if I'm Ravage. Not really sure how you're going to be able to win this with less than 100 HP remaining. You don't!
Yeah, simple as that. You don't. Unfortunate there for Carnage. Now they are facing match point against Zeus here. Zeus looking pretty strong thus far, but it seems like Carnage are just trying to run this Ryan Lucio composition all the way to the grave right now. So we'll see if they decide to switch it up here, as this is their last desperate territory here. We could see something different coming out from Zeus, however. We could see them try to mirror the composition, even if they wanted to try and put that onto the enemy team. Nope, they're not. Now we're going to be seeing a switch. Ravage and Nick are running the Ryan Baptiste this time. More hit scan potential, more damage potential. But Zeus, they're running the Brigitte of Cassidy, so they have a lot more sustainability, and they also have that hit scan pressure as well. So again, it's looking rough here for Carnage.
Very much not a fan of the Reinhardt Baptiste compared to the Ryan Lucio. This is an opportunity you could have had to just roll over the Brigitte and the Cassidy. They're split off now, so that's going to probably guarantee the win at this point, unless there's an incredible play from N1A3. But realistically, the Baptiste, in my opinion, pairs much, much better with an Orisa.
Get the charge up kill. You won't. Nope. Okay,
Nope.
unfortunate. But Ravage's last moment on the Reinhardt is when he doesn't charge. What do you know? Take that as a lesson, all you comp players. Stop charging on Reinhardt when you know you're going to die. Regardless, Carnage get their first point here in the series, and now Reinhardt and Baptiste are removed from their hero pool. Let's see what they decide to run here, because it's going to be interesting. We have not seen Ravage play anything but Reinhardt here, so is he willing to stay on that tank role? Yeah, but this time he's going to play the fat Roadhog. Okay, we'll see what the changes here from Carnage. But Dragon and M1A3 are running the Reaper Lucio. This is going to be a fast send to the grave, I think.
I was actually about to mention that they haven't played a Roadhog yet, so that's an option, the best hero in 2v2, but it seems like the Reaper is just a thin Roadhog with a lot more damage. Just walk over them, why don't you? Clear them out. Zeus taking the W over Carnage. Maybe this is how the playoffs might go. It's a foreshadowing.
Foreshadowing, literally, in terms of the Reaper there. But really, when it comes to Roadhog, to a Reaper, a Roadhog is just a health pack. You will never die facing off against a Roadhog unless you just keep missing your shots. And based off of this play of the game, M1A3 did not miss a single one of their shots. They just kept pumping damage into Ravage and were able to finish that off. And that's going to be Ravage sent to the grave, Carnage sent out of the tournament, and Zeus heading over to the trans-tier semis.
Yeah, just point laugh at the enslaved health pack there, as you know, the Reaper can just do whatever he wants with them. And at this point, we are moving back over to the Harmony. There's 3 more matches before we get into our halftime, so make sure that if you need to take a break for any reason, need to get a drink, need to get some food, like I do, just wait a moment. We'll be done with this first half of the night shortly. So let's see what we're gonna see from Null and Rocket versus Shrek. Shrek?
Yes.
Shrek?
Shrek.
And
Amateur
see-
professionals have a player named Shrek on their team. Let me remind you of that. If you watched Comms Check a few weeks ago, he's the person who is, quote, known for his shatters as he proceeds to shatter into a shield. So it's going to be interesting to see how these two teams face off. Right now, Rocket and Null inside of Koala Kings, they're playing the Soldier Diva, while CZI and Shrek for amateur professionals playing Zen Roadhog. So interesting composition, but you know that long range and that sort of sustainability can help out in the long run. Be interesting to see if Koala Kings can take advantage of it.
Yeah, debatably playing 2 of the heroes with the least amount of layers available, but Roadhog at least does have the figure of Shrek, so I'll allow it this round. And, you know, locking out the Roadhog potentially early on is a bit of a boon for the other side, since they don't have to worry about the hero later on. But if you can win against the Roadhog, that'll make you feel much more confident, but that hook is good.
Yeah, definitely. I'm disappointed, however, in Shrek not using the Junkenstein monster skin. Come on, that would have made the perfect sort of situation here. You have a green giant beast, but still, Shrek able to get a lot of value, eliminates Rocket's mech, so now Koala King's doing without that sort of ability here. But Rocket could build up this mech again, already 50% to another one. So if amateur professionals want to act on this Diva not having a mech, they have to act fast.
CZI doesn't quite have all of their HP right now, missing just a little bit. Took too much poke earlier. The hook is good. The whole hog about to be up in any moment. If Shrek can just survive, the breather is good, keeping the player alive. And pet capture point open soon. Doesn't look like it'll matter with that. At this rate, full hog just to confirm it.
Oh, but still CZI dies. Rocket could just barely stay alive. Never mind. Shrek says, "Get out of my swamp," and gets the first point here for the side of amateur professionals. Koala Kings, unfortunate, they just weren't able to counter that whole hog coming out. It was a beautiful hook from Shrek, being able to eliminate Rocket there on the Soldier early. So amateur professionals showing up here early, getting that first point here. Now Koala King's going to try to come up with a response, and that response is going to be, heading into the second round, a Roadhog of their own and a speed boost. But amateur professionals have Pharmacy, so now it's going to get interesting.
Yeah, the quick pig just ready to blast off towards this Pharmacy, and a single hook landed is almost a guaranteed kill, but that's a guaranteed kill on the Rocket. What are you doing? You can't just disrespect Shrek like that. Get out. What are you doing in my swamp, he says. Takes him out.
Yeah, definitely Shrek's Farah being able to eliminate Rocket with the Rockets on the edge of the barrier. So now Amateur Professionals looking really strong here, but Shrek still has to be careful about this Roadhog coming out from Null. Same for CZI. So Amateur Professionals need to try and take this game slow. That's what they want to do, play the game slow. As long as Null doesn't get these hooks off, as I say that, he almost gets a hook off on the CZI, you should be in the clear, but you have to be careful about these cooldowns coming off. You have to predict that hook timing. Hook's now used again here from Null, so now Amateur Professionals start making the engage. Once that hook's back online, you're going to see Amateur Professionals disengage.
Even without the hook online, Roadhog can be extremely threatening in those small corridors, so try not to engage with him too much, Shrek. You might have to... He might just get you over towards him with that nice little hook, but... I mean, with these concussive blasts keeping Shrek, or not Shrek, but Null away from these doors, it's providing a lot more damage to ult charge than you might have otherwise had.
Rocket says hit a hook challenge. Yeah, that perfectly describes the situation. But now Null has this whole hog online, can finish off any target.
What?
Oh, the wall from the top balcony prevents Shrek from getting hooked. That's a map geometric diff right there as Amateur Professionals clean it up with 0.9 seconds in the time bank. And now they're on match point against the Koala Kings.
Yeah, everybody always complains about Hook 1.0. That's a Hook 15.0 right there. Not even going to be able to pull people through 2 inches of fence. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, listen, that's what Overwatch 2 Hook is going to look like at this rate. But now, Koala King's in desperate territory. The obvious response is to switch over to the Pharmacy. But now CZI and Shrek are running the BAP Cassidy, a lot of hit scan, a lot of sustain, and they could probably shut down this Pharmacy with ease, as long as Shrek doesn't die within the first 5 seconds.
Do you think coming into this tournament, Shrek looked at CZI and said, you're coming with me? I mean, it looks like he's got a good ally, but as I say that, doesn't heal the Cassidy up, but who needs to? You just need the Baptiste to clear out the enemy team! Are you kidding me? That's why you don't pick Pharmacy in my house, son!
And Amateur Professionals sweep the Koala Kings. I don't think any of us saw this coming into this tournament. And of course, CZI respectfully gets the play of the game for that. I mean, it's not often to see Baptiste pop off this hard in a 2v2 situation, but CZI, living up to the name, gets that first kill on the Null, has the Immortality Field, and is able to save themselves, kill Rocket in the aftermath. Really good redemption there from Amateur Professionals, and they'll be going over to the semis, so definitely an upset matchup here that could really play dividends later in the tournament.
Wow, what a performance from CZI. I mean, was playing good that entire time, but if we can pick an MVP for the 2v2 tournament as a whole, CZI is already a lock after that kind of performance. I mean, if I need to explain it one more time, why you shouldn't be picking the Pharmacy comp, that is why you don't have the burst damage prevention with either of those two heroes like you would with, for example, an Echo Mercy, where you can just burst them down faster with a damage boost sticky bomb. Does one shot 200 HP targets.
Yeah, definitely. Now we're heading over to our final Discord tier match before halftime. It's Firefight and Potato and YB versus Valkyrie and JMX and Zodiac. Or Sotakes, something around those lines. Zodiac, something like that. But it's going to be interesting to see how these two teams face off. Reminder, earlier this season, Valkyrie delivered a loss to Firefight. So this could be a sort of redemption. And right now, we're seeing a page out of 2020 Overwatch League. Hog Zarya from the side of Valkyrie, while Firefight have the Hog Ana.
They want some justice for their game in the regular season, keeping their lead ahead of Firefight. And Hog Zarya, this Zarya doesn't have as much self-sustain as other heroes, but more than you might expect. 200 HP of free healing with those personal shields that make up that HP, as well as the bubbles. At high enough charge, you basically just have 2 tanks and 2 DPS at the same time.
Let's also note that those bubbles can eliminate antis, which makes Potato's job a lot harder, especially when your Hog dies first. And that's going to be Valkyrie with the Hog Zarya composition taking the advantage here in this match and getting the first point here. Really interesting composition, but it really did bring them justice.
Yeah, that's just genius move from them to come out and be like, yeah, most of the time a support is necessary. Hey, look, the statue doesn't have eyelashes. You guys were wrong, but um, uh, most of the time you need that extra bit of support from a heal. Those aren't eyebrows. Those are those aren't eyelashes. Those are eyebrows. Those are bushy man eyebrows.
I mean, fair. But now Firefight coming out on that Pharmacy composition. Valkyrie going to the Reaper Ana. It's definitely been some very interesting compositions, but in the same way, these compositions are really known for sustainability, and they also can be known for that. Zode gets the first kill onto YB.
I mean, let me keep on keeping on with my points here. Pharmacy, not a great composition because your Mercy has no self-peel in the sky. Just a floating target for anybody with half-decent aim to shoot down. And, I mean, Zodiac might just fall to the Pharah, but wants some blood beforehand.
No, definitely good play there from Dizzy Dwarf to be able to get onto the high ground to get that easier burst damage, get those bullets a little bit closer together so that they're able to land onto Potato. And now Firefight facing match point here against Valkyrie. Valkyrie showing a lot of strengths this far in this tournament. And okay, I was just about to say they haven't even popped. Well, yeah, they haven't even popped out the Pharmacy. We might see it here though, if I had to guess, unless they want to run something different. Why did I know this?
I mean, I really wish I didn't see any Pharmacy, but I remember last season during the 2v2 tournament, Pharmacy went on a terrible 2-9 streak where 2 wins, 9 losses, just in case you're not sure, and those 2 wins were mirrors. So, you know, my crusade against Pharmacy, it never ends, and what a shot from YB to finally get them back into this.
Yeah, the biggest decider in Pharmacy compositions is if you're able to land directs onto the enemy team. YB went right up into the face of JMX playing under Dizzy Dwarf here, and it was able to get that final kill that they needed. So great job there from Firefight to dictate the aggression, and now they are back in this series. Valkyrie, however, they still have that Pharmacy in their pocket. They could try to throw it once again into Firefight's favor and try to take advantage of it. No, they're going to be switching over to the Echo Soldier this time. So now not the Pharmacy for sustainability. This time they're just going to be going for that high damage potential and the poke potential, while Firefight go for the Zen Hog.
This is another situation where your Echo doesn't have any real self-sustain or team sustain, no Zenyatta, no Mercy, none of that to keep your Echo up and running. But with the sheer damage potential that does come out here, if Potato gets caught out at any point, or if YB just gets a little bit overambitious, you can easily see this fall down for Firefight.
A lot of damage being pumped into YB there, but it's just going to help Potato and YB get their ultimates up online here. Zodiac and Dizzy Dwarf have to try and find a sort of solution here in order to win this out. The mines come out from Dizzy Dwarf trying to find the picks necessary. Oh, and that's a big pick. Beautiful rockets coming out from Zodiac to eliminate Potato, and now YB is the only player left on this team, and Dizzy Dwarf has found them in that little cove, able to pump in damage into them, force out that take a breather. It's going to be a lot harder here for Firefight, especially when Valkyrie are starting to surround YB.
I mean, if you can bait them into this tight-knit area where you need to peek this Roadhog for a sustained amount of time, you can easily get a hook off onto Zodiac, and then Dizzy Wolf is stuck at 134 HP for the rest of the time. So, if with good play, this is not lost quite yet for Firefight.
Yeah, right now, YB looking for the perfect opportunity to be able to push into this. Valkyrie looking for that. Valkyrie are just looking for that opportunity. YB's close up to that ultimate as well. Okay, Zodiac, I see how it is. Okay, YB, I see how it is. We're going to have a little bit of emo party here. As the point is about to unlock, YB might be the first to step onto it. But if he's able to stay alive, it could be a win here for Firefight. But you already see Zodiac is first to respond, gets onto the point first. So now Firefight are going to have a lot harder job. YB gets burnt down, and that's going to be Valkyrie moving on to the semis.
All Zodiac had to do was keep themselves alive, and all the Echo had to do was keep themselves out of the arms of the Roadhog Dizzy Dwarf, keeping themselves just a little bit further. And, you know, just good play all around for them to take Firefight out, and that skin has googly eyes.
Every skin has googly eyes, no matter
that skin. The skin where there's no biological eyes whatsoever has googly eyes.
So what? Bastion doesn't have any biological eyes, and he still has googly eyes.
That's just a little bit different because it's not a literal ghost possessing a suit of armor, but I'll give it to you.
See, it makes sense. As we're going to be heading into our final match before halftime, it's a Transcendence tier match between, oh no, our preseason finalists, Battalion and Epizeuxis, Player and Greninja on the side of Battalion, Frozen and Haruhiro on the side of Epizeuxis. Also noteworthy, we did get a $10 donation from Viva Chile. I can guess who that was from. Thank you so much for donating to Project Hope's Hope for Ukraine campaign. As we're going to be getting into the match here, Ty. No surprise to see Roadhog, but Doomfist Genji on the side of Epizeuxis.
That feels borderline disrespectful to go with the Doomfist Genji. Any damage you take whatsoever is permanent unless the Doomfist takes some best offense damage where he's got those little bit of extra shields and player knows where they are. Frozen 145 HP already down. Deleted my player.
Player able to delete Frozen there, 1-on-1 right now. Now you see Haruhiro trying to make the recovery here, get that sort of damage in. The sleep gets deflected from Greninja, and now Haruhiro trying to face down Greninja, trying to get that out of the picture, but is unable to right now. Right now, Epizeux is looking for that opportunity to try and push in, but they are unable to, and they're having trouble trying to find the perfect opportunity. It looks like you're going to be seeing eventually Battalion will take this, and they will. Haruhiro will die. That's going to be Battalion taking the series.
Haruhiro, you can't finish off a 1 bar of HP left Anna alone on the side. By the way, pretty sure we're still on cams, not actually on the game at the moment. Just give us one moment to fix that. Sorry about that. But
yeah, our producer is out to lunch apparently.
Just take a little bit of a break. Don't worry about it.
Well, you just missed that unfortunate match. Laggy will probably find that eventually. We'll get that in replay probably during the break. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what they run out here. Player and Greninja now on the Soldier Orisa, while Epizeux is now running the Ana Hog.
Yeah, again, they're Battalion's opting for a lot of low sustained, high offense picks. I mean, both sides really are, but this time Haruhiro and Frozen. That's a good hook on a nade onto the Orisa as well. Gonna confirm this kill unless player takes down the Ana. No more healing for this Roadhog except for whatever he can provide himself. Greninja healed up by players. Biofield cannot find the hook one shot and player lives. Greninja takes down the pig.
Yeah, Fortify is just a powerful ability, and it just does a lot of damage all at once. So great job there from Greninja to be able to cycle out that Fortify. And also, we apologize. We would have shown that first match, but Guillaume Genji is just way too brutal to watch, especially when they're getting owned by the enemy team. So yeah, nothing we can do there. But still, it's going to be interesting to see how these sort of match up here as we go into our final series. Yep. You see what I see right now.
Yeah, I mean, I think everybody sees what we see. It's a hamster and a diva. That's not something you see every day. Again, I keep mentioning it, but every damage taken is permanent unless a diva can remech. But, I mean, this is just so aggressive. Take out the Immortality Field and you win this almost immediately.
Yeah, definitely. This small friend composition able to work into the advantage, and Greninja is able to find Frozen here early, so it's looking rough here for the side of Epizeux' Battalion, trying to get the revenge for that preseason match, for that second match, for the first match of the season, and they're going to be doing exactly that once they deal with Haruhiro, but Greninja's lost their mech, and players 1 health. It is so close here, but in the back line, player finds the picks that they need. Battalion sweep Epizeux, eliminates Frozen and Haruhiro, and they'll go on to the semifinals.
I mean, that just feels like an advertisement for Battalion, like, oh, you think you can beat us once, you can't do it twice? Oh, wait, you can? Well, you can't do it thrice. Oh, wait, yeah, no, you really can't, I guess this time we're serious, but, I mean, it's a great play there, but, you know, as great as it was, never mind, sorry, as great as that was, we are going to have to take a small break for just a moment after that game. We will be coming back into the semis and the finals. Welcome back, everybody, to Tranquility Gaming. I'm finally starting to get that right consistently, so, I'm glad for that. We are just done with our quarterfinal rounds, moving into the semifinals of our 2v2 tournament, and make sure that we keep getting some of those donations in. We are $198 away from me eating hot sauce, and we have also passed the $3,000 mark, so congratulations to everybody.
Yeah, congratulations everybody for donating thus far. Great job everybody for the donations. And now we're moving into our Harmony tier semi-finals. And finally, we seem to have gotten it updated here in a second. Yes, we have. For our first match is going to be Jonesy and Sticko of the Galactic Penguins versus Mr. Amazing and Beto of Fahrenheit 972. We saw these two teams do really well in their first match. So it's going to be interesting to see how they'll do here today.
What is the semifinals we're moving into? Just want to make sure everybody's aware. And really, these were two very, very good groups of players that we saw in the previous round duke it out. So very excited to see how these players make it through. And just for context, we will be doing, if I'm not mistaken, give me 1 second to double check. All right, 2 semifinal rounds, back to back, back to back, back to back, and then the finals. We're not going to be doing semifinal this, semifinal that, semifinal other thing. Just hammering out our semifinals and then hammering out our finals. So get ready for that.
Also worth noting, we have shortened the match time by 20 seconds. Excuse me there. The match time has been shortened to 20 seconds. Now the tiebreaker starts at 80 seconds. Revealing heroes is after 60 as we get started here on Black Forest. Jonesy and Sticko on the Soldier Baptiste, while Beto and Mr. Amazing on the Baptiste Winston.
Yeah, the Soldier 152 is what I've decided to call it because you got 2 Soldier 76.
Oh my god.
Sorry about that one, everybody. That one was too much, but I mean, really, all it takes is a good dive from Mr. Amazing, and this one looks Mr. Amazing. The Immortality Field is forced early, and your Baptiste might be able to keep you alive, but no, the Immortality Field gets a ricochet onto the ground. That is unfortunate. Doesn't land on the wooden posts, and now Beto has to duel Jonesy.
Yeah, he also has to deal with Sticko as well, and that's going to be Galactic Penguins taking the first round here on Black Forest there with that Soldier Baptiste composition. I'm not calling it what you did because that was just awful.
What do you mean? It's the Soldier 152.
Stop. Just stop. Heading into our second round here, it's going to be interesting to see what these two teams pull out. Obviously, a lot of hit scan picks gone from the side of Galactic Penguins. And now they're running that Orisa Hog composition. Beto and Mr. Amazing now on the Soldier Winston. So less heals, more damage.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes less heals is fine, especially we've seen this composition work out a lot tonight. Switching up over to the Soldier, like you said. I mean, Orisa Hog, if you get a good pulled pork combination there, but Jonesy needs to be a little bit more conservative with their HP, already below the armor mark, which is going to make them take way more damage from the Soldier and the Winston, but I guess it doesn't matter.
Nope, it doesn't matter when you have that halt coming out from Jonesy, the hook coming out from Sticko, and the damage coming in from both of them. Now all that's left is Beto, who's just going to be sprinting for his life. Run, run, run as fast as you can. You can't stop me. I'm the gingerbread man. As he's trying to look for some sort of sustainability. But guess what? Hooked, killed, next round.
He's not actually the gingerbread man. He's a 76 soldier man, but
I hate you.
I get that a lot.
I don't actually hate you. You've been a good cast, and you've been doing great this week. But now, match point here for Galactic Penguins as they are looking to clean out the series here with a clean 3-0. Fahrenheit 972, they need to come up with answers, and their answer right now is Sigma Hog. Okay, so quick play. Jonesy and Sticko are running on the Echo Mercy, so they have a lot of damage and pretty much have the sustainability here. It's going to be a little challenging here for Fahrenheit 972. These hooks for Mr. Amazing have to land.
Yeah, I mean, Beto can get a good accretion potentially, but I mean, once you lose more than 100 health, you're starting to dip into unrecoverable territory as the Sigma, and with how much damage Echo can pump out, it's very, very easy to reach that mark, and you're potentially going out a little bit further and faster than you need to.
Yeah, definitely. Galactic Penguins obviously taking a lot of range here. They want to make sure that they can't get hooked as easily. But Mr. Amazing wants to find them. Oh, he misses the shadow, and there's the Echo right in front of him. Tries to go for that hook. This is it. Just barely able to miss that hook here. So now Galactic Penguins have that sort of sustainability. But Beto finds Sticko. That is massive coming out here from Fahrenheit, trying to bring this back into their clutches as all they have are to do with is this Echo. Probably won't have that duplicate online, but it's going to be close.
Yeah, Beto beats your Stinko. Isn't that neato, as Jonesy only has the HP remaining to deal with, and against 2 tanks, you're not going to be able to chew through that much health. It wasn't that bad.
Okay, yeah, I can admit it wasn't that bad, but still, it happens sometimes. It's just like pulling out every single pun at every single moment is going to make me sigh most of the time. But regardless, Fahrenheit are back in this right now. Galactic Penguins still up 2-1, but Fahrenheit trying to bring this back with an Echo Mercy, and this could cost Galactic Penguins as they're running Rhine-Anna.
Yeah, it's, I mean, going to be a lot of self-sustain kind of in this composition, trying not to make anything too aggressive happen, but into the Echo Mercy, going to be really hard to keep yourselves alive through all that damage, and even more so, keep your damage alive into this.
Yeah, definitely. Fahrenheit need to try and play this as conservatively as possible, wait for that perfect opportunity, and there's the perfect opportunity. Jonesy doesn't have his shield anymore, so you're able to pump out a lot more damage on average. Try to force out that shield from Jonesy and find the perfect opportunity, but it's causing a little bit of trouble right now.
Yeah,
but there's the opening. Ooh.
Immediately gets the sticky bombs onto the Ana, takes out the heals for this Reinhardt. Now he's just a punching bag, a whoopee cushion to just be bludgeoned, and eventually will fall, evening out this round.
Up 2-2 right now. The final round. Winner goes home with a spot in the finals for the Harmony tier. Is it going to be Fahrenheit completing a reverse sweep, or will Galactic Penguins shut out that opportunity here? The heroes are going to be picked soon. Obviously, Pharmacy eliminated from both sides here, I'm pretty sure. Never mind, Galactic Penguins still have Pharmacy. But Fahrenheit running the ball on us, so they have the ability to shut down this Pharah at any need.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you gotta remember, Penguins can't fly, so Sticko might not be quite used to this sort of composition. The Mercy is your primary target unless you get a Bionade. Are you serious? The Resurrect might just be coming in. You don't quite see it. You don't quite hear it. Mr. Amazing is just dueling this far now. Any HP standing is the HP that's left in the match, except for the Adaptive Shields, of course. Just any amount of poke damage you can get onto Sticko might just win you the match, but already you're at half HP.
Yeah, it's going to be tight here. Mr. Amazing dropping extremely low, and guess what? Sticko's just flying high up in the sky. Penguins can't fly, but this man can. Galactic Penguins soar their way into the finals for the Harmony tier.
And we haven't quite seen our other 2 finalists groups get playtime yet, except for their quarterfinal match. So I guess we have seen them get playtime, but let's not worry about that. But we're about to be going into a second, but just want to say what great plays we saw from the Galactic Penguins players, who actually had 2 matches already, and all of their matches have been 3-2 victories, believe it or not.
Yeah, very interesting. They're able to clutch it out when it matters the most, and that brings them into their advantage. So really good job there from the Galactic Penguins. Also noteworthy, we've been advertising it all day as we go into our second Harmony tier semifinal. We are raising money for Project Hope's Hope for Ukraine campaign. Type ! Donate in the chat there to be able to pledge a donation. You can donate for all sorts of different things, be it for Ukrainian refugees, like hygiene kits, first aid kits. You can train a nurse. You can actually help out with a solar panel field. Or you can donate for Tranquility rewards, like a content creator individual shout out. Seraph will record you voice lines. You can even earn a Tranquility enamel pin, which I happen to have back at my home on my fancy jacket that I wore for last year's finals. But we're getting into the match here between fire-breathing rubber duckies and amateur professionals, starting off with Hanzo Sigma, and once again, Shrek on the Roadhog with CZ on the send.
Yeah, I mean, Shrek's signature pick so far. He's got plenty of layers to this hero, and it's been great performance from him tonight. Great team so far from the amateur pros as well.
Yeah, definitely looking for that opportunity. You got to be careful about those layers of shields as well. I mean, as much as he would have a bunch of layers, shield layers always get rid of onion layers. So, but the hook layer gets an even bigger one. Big hook onto Derpy Shark, and they will fall to Shrek, and that's a big pick here for the amateur professionals.
You can't just add layer to every sentence and expect it to make sense. There's not a lot of layers to that kind of creativity, and I feel like you're disrespecting me with that.
Amateur Professionals take the series here in the first map as we head into round number 2 right now. Hog and Zen offline here for the Amateur Professionals. And they could really be making a lot of impact here. They could be taking down Firebreathing Rubber Duckies if they play the cards right here.
Yeah, I mean, it's still early on, so it's anybody's game. Shrek opting to take to the skies with the Pharah. CZI might need to keep themselves alive with this Mercy pick. Using cover optimally is the key to success here. And Drug, the only real option for long-range oppression onto the skies, but Hooks obviously can do quite a bit of work.
Yep, Amateur Professionals looking for that engage, but Derpy Shark baits out Shrek with the hook and sends him back over to the outlines. And now FBRD in a great position. All that's left is CZI's Mercy. And looks like they will be having an untimely death as long as Derpy Shark can aim. And that's exactly what's going to happen. FBRD will take their series and tie it up here 1-1.
Yeah, I mean, great little performance there. Again, evidence as to why I think the Pharmacy comp isn't so great. I'm going to keep saying it every single time it loses, and if I'm not mistaken, it's 3-5 tonight. I could be miscounting, but Pharmacy definitely in a losing win percentage, not a winning one.
Yeah, I mean, it can be. So we'll see what the move is here. Sticking with this Pharmacy, but the other side are running the Cassidy Mercy here for Firebreathing Rubber Duckies. So we'll see. The Cassidy is obviously going to be a lot more pressure here for the side of Amateur Professionals, and they might start running into a stalemate. Or they can just kill the Cassidy.
You don't quite get away with the Resurrect either. CZI wants to get the pistol out, take out you. I'll do it myself, he says. And Shrek witnesses their own Mercy fall and decides to just finish it up for themselves.
Well, now Amateur Professionals at match point here against Fire-Breathing Rubber Ducky. CZI saying they lost the 1v1. Unfortunate, but you won the 2v2, and you know that's what matters in the aftermath. So now Amateur Professionals trying to bring themselves into the finals here for the Harmony Tier 2v2 bracket. Fire-Breathing Rubber Duckies can shut it out here with the Ash Mercy, while Shrek and CZI are playing the Cassidy Baptiste.
Very interesting indeed. The Ash Mercy has seen a decent amount of playtime so far, and it is a very potent duo to play. It does not quite have the same one-view or one-shot potential, but Dynamite is, as always, it is a very threatening cooldown. Any amount of damage you can get with it is warranted and potent.
Dynamite there, misses there from Derpy Shark, as you said that, so be interesting to see. Derpy Shark wants that Baptiste of CZI in the backline. He sees them there, trying to get the pickoffs, but starts getting burnt down, and Shrek will get the kill. Now all that's left is Drug here on the Mercy. Can try to go for that Resurrect, but Shrek is guarding the body with his life, and Amateur Professionals make their way to the finals here for our 2v2 elimination bracket on the Harmony side.
It's a little bit of interesting thing to note that both of the finalists for Harmony have in fact had the same score line coming into every single round. 3-1, 3-1, 3-1 for these guys, and over there Galactic Penguins 3-2, 3-2, 3-2. So, you know, at some point tonight, at least one of those is going to be broken.
I was gonna say one of those streaks is going to be broken one way or another. So definitely going to be interesting to see that Harmony Tier finals. But before we get over to that, we have to start choosing our Discord tier finalists with our first Discord Series semifinals match between Inferno Foxes and SEAL Team Spuds. I think this is a match worth watching.
It's a very, very interesting matchup, and one that we can see updated on the score sheet. Thank you so much, Laggy. I think that we can always appreciate our producers here, right, Babuzi?
Yeah, we can always appreciate our producers. I mean, it happens. Listen, they make goofs sometimes. Sometimes they don't update the score sheets because obviously embeds work in very different ways. Sometimes they just forget to switch to the game scene and we lose an entire round on the Transcendence tier matches. But regardless of all of that, they still do a lot here for Tranquility, and we got to thank them so much. You know what else we got to thank? All the people who have been donating thus far to Project Hope for Ukraine campaign here tonight. Make sure you get your donations in because we all want to see Time Monster lose his digestive system on broadcast as we get into the match here on Echo Point Antarctica. It's going to be Cucumber and Wolf versus Choice One and Lastima. Brig Sigma versus Arissa Baptiste.
Arissa Baptiste is a combination I've been speaking the praises of for a very, very long time, and honestly, in the 2v2 format, it's very potent. You have a lot of offensive pressure, you have a lot of defensive sustain, and between Immortality Field and Orisa barriers, it's super hard to break these two.
CLC Spuds looking for their opposition right now as Inferno Fox is taking a different approach here. They try to go up the stairs here to meet up with CLC Spuds, and they also baited out that barrier here from Choi Su-won, which could be massive. And now the Fortify has been also forced out here from Choi Su-won, so obviously that's a big ability out of the picture here for the CLC Spuds. But Inferno Fox is having trouble trying to push in right now. They're trying too hard to play the Brawly style with this Brigitte, as now the point is ready to be unlocked in 30 seconds. Inferno Fox is going to start making a move quickly.
Lastema does have a little bit of injuries, 133 HP, does have the regenerative burst though if they need it, so potentially not too much to worry about, but Lastema is isolating themselves a little bit. Cucumber, the off angle might be able to finish them off, and it does. Lastema takes out the Brig. No healing left for the Sigma, but still does have the shield health to rely on just to keep themselves alive. Immortality Field as well. Just so much aggression from the Baptiste player here. Wolf does not stand much of a chance.
In traditional spam fashion, you take this fight from multiple different angles. And I think, was that a point capture win? I could not tell. It was very close between a point capture win or not. Joy Suwon says, real character in the chat. I'm guessing because they ended up capping the point with Orisa. But that's the first point going in favor of the SEAL Team Spuds. Inferno Foxes need to start picking up this heat, or else they're going to be, facing the Starchy Org. I tried to come up with a bad pun.
I think Choi Su-won was just saying that because you just witnessed a Baptiste 2v1 in the backline, but that's a fair and balanced hero if you ask me. Roadhog Ana, very interesting composition against the Pharmacy. We've seen it a lot tonight.
Yeah, definitely. And if it can work if you're able to get those hooks off. Choi Su-won, I think, missed. No, he did not. He didn't even use it. Now gets that hook off perfectly. And the sleep from Lastema. Oh my god, that was brutal to watch. Put an age restriction on that match.
Oh my goodness, that's a little bit of an over-exaggeration, but it was very, very potent play from the players on that side. But coming in here, we need to see if Cucumber and Wolf can make their comeback here. They've been kind of breezing their way through this just a little bit, only losing 3 rounds so far. Now they've lost 2 in a row, Pharmacy, to try and take out the Sigma Zen.
And now Inferno Fox is in their last desperate territory, using this Pharmacy once again. They have to be careful of Lastema on the Zenyatta here, but they also have to be careful of that shield pressure from Choi Su-won on the Sigma. But already you see that shield dropping very low here for Choi Su-won. It's going to be very hard here for CLT Spud to try and take advantage. Oh, but that's a big boop onto the low ground here for Lastema, just barely able to stay alive, have those shields intact. But it's going to be close here between the CLT Spuds as Choi Su-won's taking an aggressive position.
Yeah, just not a lot of value done by either of these players. Lastema trying to keep themselves alive. 16 HP remains. Wolf needs to get some of these focus fire shots down, but Cucumber is the one who's taking the most damage right now. But Lastema just caught off alone. Just a little bit of the reload. It might just keep the Zen alive, and it does just barely. Keeping your player alive through a reload is not a situation you want to rely on, but luck is on your side on this day.
Yeah, SEAL Team Spud's doing a really good job of sustainability, even when Lastema's dropping very low. But Lastema might be in trouble right now. He's focused down by Wolf on the Pharah. And now Cucumber and Wolf will have a very clean way to try and eliminate Choi Su-won, unless they don't step on the point this time, which looks like it will be out of the realm of possibility right now. And Wolf's building up to this barrage as well, so it could be very difficult here for Choi Su-won to survive. Has the shield getting used, uses the kinetic grasp, and gets barrage right out of the sky. That's going to be Inferno Foxes taking their first round.
Took you a moment, but took you long enough to win one there. Wolf and Cucumber on the Pharmacy, a threat to behold to be sure, and a welcome one as well. Now, Choi Su-won and Lastema trying to lock this up for themselves.
It'll definitely be interesting to see if they're able to do that here, and if they're going to be able to hold it out here. Inferno Fox is coming out on the Brigitte Sombra. So have the sustainability of the Brigitte, try and keep yourself alive, and have the Sombra go for the backline and try to eliminate that Zenyatta of Lastema. We saw the Sombra work before. It did get the Zenyatta, but was unable to finish the fight. And you see already, Wolf has eliminated Lastema. That's the second time we've seen a Sombra work very well against the Zenyatta.
Yeah, the Brigitte doesn't have much self-sustain themselves, but a Zenyatta It's a very delicious snack for a potential sneaky son of a gun. And the hack onto Choice One, no barrier available, no kinetic grasp available is even more important to prevent the Sombra from getting this much damage. And just gonna fall, make it 2-2, why not?
Yeah, 2-2 right now. Inferno Fox is trying to get the reverse sweep here against the SEAL Team Spuds. It is going to be close between these two teams right now. And it really couldn't come down to anybody's games. This is the last opportunity here for SEAL Team Spuds to try and lock themselves into the finals, or else they're going to be sent home, and Inferno Foxes will be going on to face off against the winner of the next Discord tier match. Right now, we see Choice Suwon on the Winston, Lastim on the Moira, Cucumber and Wolf on the Ana and Echo. There's a clear advantage here, I think, Ty.
I actually completely disagree. I think that there's no advantage either way here. I didn't mean to just completely shut you down there, but
Hey.
if you can rush down this Ana, if you can rush down this Echo without the glide available, then you can easily shut down one of these players, get the other one for a free snack as well. Buy one, get one. BOGO deals on this team.
We'll see what SEAL Team Spuds are able to do here. They're waiting for the perfect opportunity to engage. And Lastimos is going to go in with the damage orb right there. And already you see, they try to pick out Cucumber, but Wolf finds Lastima. And now it's even on both sides. Wolf and Choice Suwon are the last ones remaining. Their supports are out of the picture. Who needs heals anyway, they say. As now it's going to be battle here between the Monkey and the Echo. Funny enough, two good friends when it came to Overwatch lore.
Yeah, and both able to easily keep a lot of distance here away from the angry gorilla rushing at you. Might be friends in lore, but at this moment could not be greater enemies at the time. And I mean, you just... Oh, it's a good leap! Dealing a lot of damage!
Bear does a lot of damage there, but Wolf also does a lot of damage to Choi Soo-won, and now Choi Soo-won in very low health right now. It pretty much could come down to one big play, one big jump, not able to do it. Wolf finishes Choi Soo-won off, and the Inferno Foxes will move their way on to the finals here for Discord tier.
Oh, excuse me, another great... I didn't mean to yawn at that. That was a very impressive performance, but a very impressive reverse sweep to be mentioned as well. That's the second one we've seen tonight. It feels like there's reverse sweeps left, right, and center. Great play to bring back an unfortunate situation from the brink of despair and bring it back into control.
Yeah, definitely. Really good job there from Inferno Foxes to show what they're made of and be able to bring it back in the long run. But now, of course, we have to figure out who the Inferno Foxes' opponent is going to be. And that's where our second Discord tier semifinal match starts. Space Created and Funjin and Iconic versus Valkyrie and JMX and Zodake. And we remember the last time we saw these two teams face off, or at least one of these two teams face off against their rivals. And it was pretty interesting to see both of these teams.
Yeah, even though Redacted did lose that in a very close game, I guess. My brain's slowly dropping off, but Space Created haven't looked super good this entire time is the point I was trying to get to.
Yeah, Space Created coming out on the Winston Lucios, and they want to go for those fast dives. But look at Valkyrie. They're prepared for that. They have the Reaper for high damage and Zodake on the Soldier for poke potential. So it's the Winston is going to be very hard here for Space Created to try and pull off. And now that their location is in spot, it's going to be even worse.
Yeah, they're trying to be a little bit sneaky with the same position they had earlier, but at the moment, just trying to get a good dive, and they find it. The Soldier 76 a little bit isolated. The speed boost can catch up, but that's a lot of damage from the Reaper. Dizzy Dwarf does take down the Winston, the big threat there, but Funjin does have an opportunity to take out a lonely Zodek if it comes up.
Oh, Funjin almost falls off the map there on the Lucio. Just looking for the perfect boot potential, but you see Valkyrie are set up on this high ground right now. They don't want to be near any sort of cliffs right now. Just stay in a very, open space away from a ledge is what they want to do right now. And they're just trying to pick off Funjin one by one. Dizzy Dwarf's just going to come up close and finish him off one by one. 2 shots right to the cranium. And that's going to be Valkyrie winning the first round in this series. Already a good start for them thus far.
It's a little bit of a matchup differential with the Winston versus the Reaper. It's always going to be really hard to win that one out. And once your Winston falls, as you're playing a Lucio, if you don't make a really aggressive and good play to catch off the Soldier 76 alone, then it's going to be really hard for you to poke out that Reaper in the long run. Oh, that's a Torbjorn.
That is a Torbjorn. Indeed, Dizzy Dwarf now on the Torbjorn with Zodake on the Baptiste. Iconic and Fungin running back with this Winston Lucio composition. I mean, yeah, it does spark potential, Dizzy Dwarf. We'll see what they decide to go here as they start making the dive in here. You already see a lot of damage falling, but Zodake able to eliminate Iconic, and the melee from Dizzy Dwarf sends Space Created back to their spawn doors. Already match point here for Valkyrie.
Yeah, Space Created look very vulnerable at the moment. Valkyrie almost indomitable in their play, the perfect counter pick. We haven't seen any Torbjorn come out at all tonight, and the moment Dizzy Dwarf pulls it out, it's the exact thing that they need.
Definitely. Now it's going to be interesting to see what the response is here from Space Created. Yana Hog is what they're going for, but Valkyrie, they're used to this. Now they're bringing out their own Hog with Hog Zarya, which we saw last time this comp was played against Firefight, how well they were able to summarize these bubbles and these Roadhog play. It's going to be difficult here, but Space Created could still make this work if they're able to use these cooldowns effectively.
Yeah, the value that you can really get for this composition was established and certified earlier on, but the Ana Nano Boost is a very threatening cooldown. Iconics, he drops first! Dizzy Dwarf gets the kill.
Oh, the sleep went on to Zodake, so now... Okay, Dizzy. Okay. You know, you love to do that. You love the sort of teammate synergy, being able to do that sort of stuff and not feel like remorse or any sort of disappointment for your team. But now, Valkyrie looking really good in the hot seat. All that's left is Fungin on this Ana. And Zodake's just going to beam them, get the hook off on the Dizzy Dwarf, and Valkyrie will sweep Space Created out of the tournament, and they'll go on to finals to face off against Inferno Foxes.
Dominance is an understatement from Valkyrie to 3-0 their opponents there. Pretty sure we haven't seen that well, we have seen the 3-0 before, but that was probably the most dominant one we had all night coming from them. The other one was on the other side of the bracket, though, so potentially a match of the 3-0s coming up.
Yeah, definitely. It's going to be interesting to see how they go out here and which team is going to be able to take advantage in the long run here. And now we're going to be seeing the Transcendence Tier semifinals. It's going to be interesting to see how these two teams react and which team's going to be able to come out on top. And our first match is Spectre and Okita from Sigma versus Dr. DM and Flawlix from Puerto Rico. I think this is going to be an interesting one. I mean, as you can tell, the Transcendence bracket, we currently have not seen Spectre and Okita all day here today. So it's going to be interesting to see how these players for Reckless Sigma are able to bring it up against the Map 5 Kings in Puerto Rico.
I was actually about to mention that we haven't seen the Sigma players come out at all tonight, but I would also like to mention that this is the semifinals and they're making their first appearance. Just goes to show the quantity of teams is a little bit lower at the top end right now, and it's going to be really interesting to see the new flavor coming out. And they're taking a page out of the book of the team we just saw Valkyrie dominating with. Sigma feel like they want to take a little bit of lessons.
Yeah, take your lessons. Get the journals out. Get those sort of notebooks out. Write those papers while you're at it. As Sigma run the Roadhog Zarya here. Flawlix and Dr. DM on the Ana Hog as well. So, again, we've seen this story multiple times before, but it's going to be if Sigma are able to take the aggression because they're currently playing really passive and haven't been able to get these bubbles up as a result. Zarya loves to be aggressive and get those sort of damage out with the beam as early as possible, but you're just taking your time, waiting for the rotations to come in, and it just seems kind of weird. My guess is because they want to try to bait out this anti-name from Flawlix, because if you use those bubbles too early, you can get the hog, you can put your hog in a terrible situation where they are going to die without fail.
It's a little bit of cat and mouse as well. If you can't catch up to the Ana and Roadhog, then your bubbles aren't going to have any effect as you rush onto them. This might be a situation where you want to play a little bit more passive, but you can't punish the sleep. No. Your nade will be nullified, your bubble will be nullified, you're just giving the Zarya a free 40 charge, and, you know, good call to play it back.
This has been a ridiculous game of Ring Around the Rosie. Sigma are deciding to step onto the point here as they start making their engage onto the point, trying to find that perfect opportunity. But that's a big hook coming out from Dr. DM. Forces out both bubbles here from Sigma. And now that's going to be big opportunity here for Puerto Rico to start making their engage. Another beautiful hook from Dr. DM onto the Zarya. Eliminates Okita. And now Puerto Rico looking really good. But the full hook from Spectre forcing them off the point. And Sigma still get the point in the aftermath.
That is incredible from them. Just losing out, and then Spectre all of a sudden decides, no, we're not. Wins through the cap of all things. it's the thing that their composition excels at the most, and that's the benefit of not having a support with your Roadhog. He gets to farm that ult charge, and once the objective comes up, the knockback buff that, in my opinion, is a nerf in regular gameplay, actually factors in as a buff.
So now we're going to see composition swap coming out here from the side of Reckless Sigma, now running the Sigma Baptiste. Meanwhile, on the side of Puerto Rico, sticking with this on a hog. They want to try to stick to this composition. They know that it can work in these situations. But if you're Sigma, you got to be careful about that hog. The hook almost hits there from Dr. DM, and RDC Sigma has to try and retreat because they're getting a lot of damage pumped into them.
Spectre decides we will not rock you as the accretion goes into the ground. No value from that quite yet. Gonna need to stop the Roadhog in his tracks. He's able to play so aggressive. The hook, this time, we see such a different stylistic play from them, considering the fact that they don't need to run from the Hog Zarya.
Oh, and a big hit coming out from Dr. DM to eliminate Okita there. And Spectre, what is that melody? It's your funeral music. Puerto Rico win the point here, and now they've tied it up here 1-1 heading into round number 3.
I mean, that one was... Oh my god, I keep yawning, but that one was a little bit morbid. I mean, this funeral music? You didn't have to do them like that, but with the hog locked out from both teams, this is where the creativity can really shine.
Yeah, definitely. It's going to be interesting to see how these two teams go for that. As now we're going to be seeing different comments from both sides. The Sigma Bab coming still out from the side of Sigma, but Puerto Rico running the Moira Diva here, which is interesting. I don't think we've seen these two together all night.
We've seen a Diva all night. This is one of the expected lower tier tanks, and we're starting to see why. Moira can only do so much, and with the Hyperspheres coming out from the Sigma, he's going to fall eventually, but Spectre, he's at 19 HP, falls to the Moira, doesn't even matter, because the Moira lives, the baby Diva gets the kills.
Yeah, it was a big pick there from Flawlix to eliminate Okita on the side of Reckless Sigma, so they had no support there for Spectre. And now Puerto Rico bring it to match point here, but as I've mentioned, they're the Map 5 Kings. We would not be surprised if this went to another round number 5 here, Ty Munster. As the compositions come out, no surprise to see Sigma still on that composition, but now Dr. DM and Flawlix on the Lucio Reinhardt.
Yep, just want to... Oh, immediately they recognize, no, I don't want nothing to do with that. Let me get the hell out. But just want to remind you guys, make sure that you get your donations into Project Hope. We are about $200 away from me ruining my future life, my near future life, I should say, with some hot sauce. 7 million scovilles, remember that. It's basically pure death in a bottle. So, you know, make me suffer.
Please don't make him suffer anymore. He's had to cast so many times this week. But still, Sigma looking for that poke potential right now. But it's going to be difficult here considering Puerto Rico just have this brawl advantage. Good rock coming out from Spectre, but now Puerto Rico start making their advance. Flawlix is the first, but you can see how low Dr. DM is. It could very much play into the favor here of Reckless Sigma as they start making their engage onto the point here, or at least into this area. Control point now shown. 30 seconds remaining until that point unlocks here. It could be interesting. We could see another situation where Sigma are able to just cap the point and win.
Yeah, it's going to be a little bit rough for them, though, considering the fact that there's so much damage on both sides, potentially. If you don't manage to survive to point, then Puerto Rico will be falling, but depending on how long they can last and how much shield health they remains, it's the Sigma who drops. They decide to send Spectre down there, the lone survivor at Immortality Field, to keep them alive. Lucio, not quite focus firing it down. The beat's available!
That could be big, considering the Spectre has this gravitic flux, sends them up into the air, unable to cap it with that Sig-9, unfortunately, but the beat is invested. But Okita finds that first kill on the Flawlix, and Spectre gets the kill on the Dr. DM. They bring it back. Reckless Sigma bring us to a map 5 in true Puerto Rico fashion.
Even if they didn't win right there and then, and it was only the Baptiste left alive, the amplification matrix is all you need to keep to shred people down to a just pile of ash, and you really didn't even need it. Coming in here, there's no Baptiste, and there's no Roadhogs.
No Roadhogs. It's gonna be interesting to see Flawlix and Dr. DM running on the Echo Mercy here. Spectre and Okita running back on their Diva Moira composition, or at least I'm pretty sure Puerto Rico ran that first. Now they're running it here, so It's going to be interesting how these two teams decide to run it. Can Reckless Sigma try to send themselves into the finals, or will Puerto Rico be the Map 5 Kings once again? A lot of damage being poured onto Dr. DM, just barely able to keep themselves alive, but Sigma want to take this fight very close here with the Echo Mercy.
The more you chip this Mercy, the more you prevent the healing, the self-healing from triggering and keeping Dr. DM alive. Spectre, if they can just keep pressuring from afar and prevent the Mercy from getting any health regenerated, but Okita so low, the Moira dropped to below 75 HP for a moment there, and the Mercy, the aggressive dives from Spectre.
Spectre's been doing a really good job of trying to focus down this Mercy. He's been making those aggressive plays, and it's not going to be enough. However, Dr. DM falls to Okita, but Flawless will eliminate Spectre's mech. It is back and forth thus far, but that's going to be Reckless Sigma shutting out the Map 5 Kings. Reckless Sigma will go on to the finals here for Transcendence Tier.
Congratulations, Reckless Sigma, for taking out the Map 5 Kings. Puerto Rico are removed from the lobby, and going into this, they're going to either have to go up against Zeus or the is it Battalion? Yeah, Battalion. Okay.
Yes.
My mouse wasn't letting me see the thing, but thank you.
Listen, technology is weird. Our producer can attest to that. Technology is weird sometimes, but we are going to be seeing that last semifinals match of the night here between Battalion and Zeus. It's going to be interesting to see which team moves on. Again, Battalion did a really good job sweeping against Epizeuxis. Zeus, however, they gave a point over to Carnage, so this could really be going either way. It's going to be interesting to see how it fares out here on Eco Point Antarctica.
Yeah, I mean, this is an El Clasico when it comes to the 2v2 elimination, or elimination in general, really. This is where I think we've seen the most Pharmercy success that wasn't in a mirror, and by that, I mean almost winning around, because Pharmercy, stinky.
Pharmacy is stinky. Unfortunately, there is not the player of Stinky who is in this 2v2 Elam bracket, or else we would be saying that a lot. But Zeus running out with the Hog Diva, not what we're used to here. Meanwhile, on the side of Battalion, traditional on a Hog fashion here. We'll see which team is able to take advantage of it.
Yeah, it's just going to be... it's a weird composition to be running the Diva with a Roadhog. You don't have a lot of self-sustain there, and the moment the Diva takes some damage, unless you risk a remech kill, or not a remech kill, but a remech in general, that damage will be sticking onto this Diva. Appears as though we're still on the cameras, though, so just give us one moment to fix.
Yeah, Laggy Sun hopefully getting us back. There we go. Now you get to see the action play out in form this time. That would have been 2 for 2 Battalion matches we missed the first map on, but now we get it in focus here. Big hook coming out from Player, but it gets canceled and broken there. Beautiful sustain there from Zeus. Be able to keep that alive, but still a lot of damage being poured into them. They only have this Roadhog that can self-heal. They don't have that healer like Greninja does. And now you see the hook. Again, another miss here from Player. They get hooked themselves by Dragon, but that's a massive anti-nade coming out from Greninja. Shuts down M1A3, and all that's left is Dragon on the Roadhog, and they will be they'll be going back to spawn, and that's going to be Battalion winning the first series.
They'll be eliminated, I think the word you were looking for there, as early lead, Greninja and Player taking it, potential to take it home quite early. Battalion might want to just seal this away early and not let any momentum be gained for Zeus.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting here. Zeus now switching over to the Mercy Echo composition, but Battalion running that high sustain composition that you really complimented earlier here, the Rissa Baptiste. So they have that hit scan, they have that sustainability with this bunker composition. It's going to be interesting to see if Zeus are able to break this. Already a lot of damage going on the Player, though. That's going to be close. Oh, but Dragon gets halted back into Greninja's crossfire and dies, and so does M1A3. Battalion bringing it home.
Yep, Battalion looking very, very good. Common Battalion W. Totally didn't just steal that from somebody in chat, but I would like to remind you guys, we don't have very much longer. Only after this, if this goes the way it's been going, then we're only going to have 3 more matches very, very soon to get $200 for me to have to eat the end flatline hot sauce. And not sponsored, by the way, not sponsored. Just I have it here. It was the spiciest thing that I could find in the store that's literally called Pepper Palace. So
I don't want to visit that store anytime soon. Zeus now running over onto the Hog Moira composition. very interesting from Battalion running the Ball Diva. I don't remember if we saw this or not, but it definitely has that high damage potential. It can also cause a lot of disturbance. But you know what else can cause disturbance? Losing your Diva mech. Ninja gets killed there from Dragon thanks to the D-mech coming out from M1A3, and Zeus looking in a prominent position here. All that's left is this ball from Star Platinum, by the way. That's what player is, Star Platinum, but we'll see if they're able to take advantage. Very neat tech there from the ball. I've not seen that for a long time.
I mean, it's fairly simple. The moment that there's a slight slope, it's actually extremely easy to pull that tech off, but coming in here, player, he's going to have to deal with a Moira and a Roadhog, two of the most high-sustained heroes in the game for themselves, but with a hero like Ball, you're just going to get melted at this point.
Yeah, Ball unfortunately cannot live up to the sustain and damage of the Moira and Hog. Zeus take their first point here in the series, trying to bring it back here up against the Battalion and find their way into the finals, but they still got 2 matches left to win. We'll see if they're able to do exactly that, as we're going to be heading into our second point here of our fourth round, of Eco Point Antarctica. And interesting compositions. Echo Mercy for Battalion for Zeus, Soldier Tracers, so they want to try to, they were pretty much prepared for this Pharmacy composition.
It's not quite the Pharmacy, but it is pretty close. But this composition from Zeus always reminds me of that playoff performance. That's not playoff performance, but that's just that moment where great pick on him onto M1A3, but whoa, Dragon gets his own kill, but doesn't last very long, and Zeus will be destroyed as Battalion battle forwards towards the finals.
Yeah, reminded you of that moment where Battalion made their way to the finals, and that is going to be it for Zeus's journey. And just like that, our matches are set for the finals, and we're ready to see what teams are going to be facing off in the finals and which team is going to be able to take the victory of the 2v2 elimination tournament here for Tranquility Gaming Season 8 event week in all 3 tiers. Remember, we already have our EU champion decided, so it's going to be interesting to see which team takes the advantage here.
Oh, you probably only really have 30 more minutes to get your donations in, so make sure you get them in.
If you want to see Time Monster die on stream, you should definitely do that.
I mean, at this rate, I really don't think that. Maybe you guys just don't think I can handle it. You just think I'm too scared potentially, but I'm not scared.
Yeah,
I'm not.
Yeah. Anyway, we're going to be heading into our finals match for Harmony Tier NA here. Galactic Penguins versus Amateur Professionals. Winner gets the title of champion for the 2v2 elimination bracket this season. Loser, second place. Now we're heading out on the compositions. Galactic Penguins taking a page out of Valkyrie's book now. They're running the Hog Zarya, with Shrek and CZI running the Hog Zenyatta.
Yeah, the metagame has been shifted towards the Russian and the Russian pig as the Shrek. Oh, he gets hooked early. First hook doesn't always result in the losses we see here. It's the second hook. It comes out. It's Jonesy. The Zarya Bubbles are out of commission for the rest of the round.
Great play there from CZI. The Discord Orb just did too much damage there for Jonesy to be able to sustain, and now just like that, Amateur Professionals have already got rid of one of their major concerns. Now Shrek trying to stay alive, just barely able to against Sticko. That's going to be Amateur Professionals taking the first round of this series. Very well done from them.
Yeah, unfortunately, he just, according to chat, just didn't do it right. And I mean, I didn't really see how you can mess up walking into people with 2 beefy tanks, but according to chat, they pulled it off. So, very curious to see if Shrek and CZI can maintain the lead that they just obtained, but Jonesy and Sticko do still have the Roadhog crutch to rely on, and Jonesy done with the Zarya.
Now going over to the Baptiste Hog, which makes sense because AP, or Amateur Professionals, running with their Pharmacy composition. We seem to see a noticeable trend here with Amateur Professionals. They seem to really rely on the same 3 compositions in order to find themselves victory. And, you know, I mean, if it keeps working, why not? Why stray away from it? The far is able to pump out a lot of damage here, but Jonesy's already built up a lot of heals, and Sticko finds the miracle hook and gets the kill into CZI, and that's Galactic Penguins tying it up.
I mean, once again, the Pharmacy comp proving to not be as good as everybody so thinks. It's, if I'm not keeping count very well, but I believe it's 4-9 for tonight. Might be mistaken. It's still better than it was last season, but I mean, 4-9. If you have 4-9 on anything, it's not a great win rate.
Yeah, definitely. As now we go over to the next series, Jonesy and Sticko switching over to the Zen Sigma. But now Amateur Professionals still sticking on this pharmacy. They believe that this is the solution, and they already go really on high, try to go straight for the backline of Galactic Penguins. But already you see the damage pumping out. Oh, but the Zenyatta split for the rest of the team, and Jonesy will die immediately. Big pick there coming out for the Amateur Professionals. All that's left is Sticko on the Sigma.
Just a little bit of a split up can cause a lot of damage, and the damage is just going to come through onto Sticko. Eventually, the pharmacy comp is going to work, and it's 2-1 Shrek. The layers keep coming forward.
And the wins start coming, and they don't start coming. That's the rules, and I hit the ground running as Amateur Professionals trying to become the all-stars here for the 2v2 elimination night. Listen, you set yourself up for these starting these earlier in the stream. I picked the perfect opportunity. It looks like you're going to be seeing Jonesy and Sticko run out on this Orisa Brigida as Amateur Professionals running the Cassidy Baptiste. Again, that high hit scan potential that can take advantage of most situations, but can it live against the sustainability of Galactic Penguins?
I mean, Shrek the Hammer is that didn't work nearly as well as it did my brain, but I mean, oh, it's a big brick bash onto Shrek. The Immortality Field is invested, so you're not going to have that during the fight. Sticko can play a little bit of aggressiveness with this barrier and the second barrier, and it's just going to keep moving forward. They don't stop coming, and they don't stop coming. Shrek falls as well as CZI, and it's an even match in our Harmony Finals.
Yep, it is even here at the final round for the Harmony tier. Amateur Professionals versus Galactic Penguins. 2-2 thus far. It all comes down to one round. Can Galactic Penguins shut down Amateur Professionals, or are we going to be seeing Amateur Professionals pull off an all-star move? The same composition run by Amateur Professionals that Galactic Penguins are running the Pharmacy. This could really be close here, Ty.
Yeah, the Pharmacy. It's a very big gamble to go into this with, but Shrek and CZI are on a really good counter pick with the Cassidy and the Baptiste. If you can get into a position where you're not going to be spammed out, but you can spam them out, you can push them into a location where you want them and not worry about it too much. Shrek not hitting the shots, the revolver not finding any effect, and CZI is the only one left. Can he pull it off again and get the 2-for-1?
Yeah, definitely CZI needs to try and get these kills. Oh, but they found Jonesy on the Mercy. But guess what? Sticko's there to help, and just like that, Galactic Penguins will be your 2v2 Elim champions for the Harmony tier, which means that they've won every event this week except the Torbjorn Hammer 1v1s. Congratulations to Sticko and Jonesy, your 2v2 Elim Harmony tier champions.
I mean, the most important event of the week is the Torbjorn Hammer 1v1, so it's a little bit upsetting to not quite win that. What was that hook? Barely able to hit that through pins, needles, and every little... What's the word? I guess it was just pins and needles or something else. Thread the needle. He threaded the needle to the utmost degree.
Yep, that's what you're looking for there. And it's going to be interesting now. Definitely big win there for Galactic Penguins. But now, of course, we have our second of three finals. It is time for the Discord tier finals. Inferno Foxes and Cucumberry and Wolf versus Valkyrie and Zotaic versus JMX.
Yeah, I mean, Wait, JMX? Who's JMX?
They apparently are playing under the account Dizzy Dwarf, from what I'm aware.
Ah.
Yeah, so it's Dizzy Dwarf in game, but JMX is the actual player. Unless I can be told otherwise, I'm pretty sure it's JMX playing. But we are going to be getting into the match here on Castillo. It's going to be interesting. Oh my god, Cucumber.
I mean, I think that Dizzy Dwarf is a little bit funnier than what was it? Anime JMA, whatever, what I don't know, but so they can Dizzy Dwarf coming onto the Soldier and the Reaper.
Yeah, this is what Valkyrie were known for, especially to try and deal with those heavy tank compositions. But Inferno Fox is playing the Brigida Sigma, so they kind of are resisted to this long-range damage. So Valkyrie have to try and look for that perfect hole to be able to find their way in. Zotaic obviously getting picked out here from Wolf. You see now that Inferno Fox is trying to make an advance, but again, it's going to be hard, especially when there's so much damage. And there's this Reaper.
Yeah, I'm not sure why you would pick the Chengdu Hunter's Reaper skin. I mean, it's a small little detail, but I don't... Has there been a single Chengdu Hunters player to ever touch Reaper at any point in history?
Yes.
Huh?
There has been at least one. I don't remember.
Are you
who, but
sure?
at least-
They
I've
spam
watched-
Wrecking Ball comps. I don't think it's likely.
Well, they've played Reaper at least once, considering that they usually went to meta in 2020. But right now, Valkyrie being able to pressure out this range here, not a lot of ult charge for either side, and that point is about to unlock in 10 seconds. So someone's going to try to step on that to try and capture the objective. We'll see if anyone does it right now. Valkyrie on the high ground, Inferno Fox on the low ground as they start making their engage, and Zotaic finds the pick onto Cucumber, and that's just going to open up the door for Dizzy Dwarf to finish out the kill onto Wolf, and Valkyrie take the first point.
A slow and methodical round for Valkyrie, taking out the Brigitte, chunking them down slowly over time. Brig has no self-heals if she can't get offensive damage done. So with no opportunities to get Inspire procced, Cucumber could just whittle down the Brig. And eventually the Sigma was going to fall as well.
And now, the tried and true coming out from the side of Inferno Fox's Far Mercy, but Valkyrie running the Torbjorn Baptiste here, so they want to try to have that multiple damage in multiple different avenues, and that turret can do a lot of work, especially if used properly and not broken immediately, you know, like Wolf just did right there. But be interesting to see what the response is here from Valkyrie. They do have this hit scan pick for Zotaic, but be interesting to see if they're able to finish off this far. Probably going to be hard, especially with that Mercy pocket.
Yeah, but having the turret does mean you effectively have a third much worse player, considering they don't move and they don't have infinite range, but they do have aimbot, so that can definitely help into a Pharah just to do a little bit extra chip damage, force the Mercy to heal, or prevent the Mercy from healing themselves even. It's a lot of little things that the turret can provide if it can stay alive.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be hard here for Valkyrie to make use of this turret, especially because it takes a while for the turret to stay alive right now, and you can see that impact is real right now. Dizzy Dwarf does not have a lot of ult percentage on this Torbjorn right now, but Zotaic hits a lot of headshots on the Wolf, almost brings them down, but thankfully Wolf is able to use that natural cover. But now he's going for the open range, and Zotaic finds the shots he needs, finishes off that Pharah with ease, but Cucumber able to get the res off. That could be critical, as now Wolf is back in the fight. Zotaic and Dizzy Dwarf trying to bring themselves under the immortality field, and now Wolf has found the kill onto Dizzy Dwarf, and they get the point without Zotaic noticing. I don't even think oh no, they got the shot onto Zotaic. I didn't even notice that. Oh my goodness, good shot coming out from Wolf to bring that back.
Barely the Resurrect came out just in time, and I mean, with how well the Baptiste play was there, just destroying the Pharah at every possible opportunity. The moment that Torbjorn went down the turret, the Baptiste could have just played back and not gone aggressive, just a little bit, take their time, whittle away at the Pharah, but I mean, the Pharah doesn't need to, you know, peek too much, can just straddle around the objective.
Now Valkyrie losing their first series thus far in this tournament right now. Now Inferno Fox is running back on this Brig Sigma composition. Valkyrie trying the Cassidy Torbjorn composition, but already you see a lot of damage going out, and Zotaic is able to eliminate Wolf immediately. Now Cucumber trying to get the kill onto Zotaic, and Will with that perfectly placed whip shot. And now it's little father-son rivalry here that could be very interesting.
Father-daughter, but yeah, I guess so, but...
That's what I meant, father-daughter, sorry.
Yeah, Dizzy Dwarf and Cucumber are almost the same amount of HP. Only difference is Dizzy Dwarf can technically hit through the shield with the Torb Hammer, so we might find a genuine use of Torb Hammer with Overload here at any given moment, but the turret can also do a lot of pressure, and the just plain rivet shots can do a lot of pressure as well.
I would think it's very risky here for Dizzy Dwarf to use that Torb Hammer, because yes, they can go through the shield, but also you could just eliminate that shield from Cucumber. Now Cucumber has no shield, a little bit of health left, and the point's about to unlock here, and you can also just hit a shot like that. Dizzy Dwarf fends off Cucumber, and now Valkyrie at match point here in the 2v2 elimination bracket.
Yeah, this has been a nail biter, folks, this whole time, always going very close to the point unlock, and I mean, Dizzy Dwarf got the final blow there. Gonna have to see what they decide to opt into. The Torbjorn that's been so good for these players is, excuse me, now locked out.
We'll see if it works, as now...
Oh, they have the Hawk still?
Oh, yes, they do. Zotaic and Dizzy Dwarf still have this Hog Zarya online. They saved the best for last right now, as Cucumber and Wolf are coming out on their Echo Ana composition. This might be a little challenging here for Inferno Foxes, but it's not a hog mirror here for both sides. So really, Valkyrie could be at a massive disadvantage. What a sleep dart coming out from Cucumber.
Yes, it's going to be really close, but Cucumber falling did get a Bionade in their waning moments, so a little bit of impact, but a lot of damage onto Wolf and no recovery available unless they can duplicate.
Yeah, right now Zotaic waiting for the perfect opportunity to bubble this Roadhog if need be. Daisy Dwarf misses the hook, but still you have this advantage right now if you are Valkyrie. No heals for Wolf. Any damage is permanent right now. And plus, Wolf has to be careful about those bubbles coming out from Zotaic as well, trying to finish it out here. 25 seconds until the control point unlocks. Wolf could try to get this duplicate online and try to clutch it out here with a whole hog, but it will be very hard and extremely risky because you have to be careful of this Roadhog who can just hook you and kill you immediately.
Yeah, in best case scenario, the Roadhog's still going to get their ult first, if you can even survive that long. With just a little bit of extra damage, Valkyrie will put them in their place and win in the Discord tier.
Valkyrie, congratulations to Dizzy Dwarf and Zotaic for being your Discord tier 2v2 elimination champions. Congratulations to them. And this was the playmaker for Inferno. If this res did not happen, Inferno Foxes would have lost this map. Look at this beautiful shot. And he dies to the Torn afterward. Oh, man. Post-Humanist kills are always amazing. But really good job there from Inferno Foxes, showing that they could contend with the best. Now it's time for our final match of the nighttime, Munster. It's all come down to this. Our Transcendence tier finals between Reckless Sigma and Battalion. Spectre and Okita versus Greninja and Player.
Yeah, there's only 10 minutes left to get your donations in to help Project Hope. Remember, just because you donate $5 doesn't mean that they will be receiving $5 on their end. It'll be $10 because all donations will be matched by Project Hope. So make sure you get your donations in. Maybe $200 if you have it to spare, because that will make me in despair.
You're not wrong as we head into the final series here of the night. Battalion running out on that on a hog composition, but Sigma running with their Diva Moira composition, which excels in the rush. Beautiful sleep coming out there from Greninja. Gets woken up, unfortunately, as Okita gets separated from their Diva. Spectre already lost their mech right now, and it's going to be hard for them to try and recover that. But still, Player and Greninja don't notice him back there. They find Okita first, however, so now there's no heals, even if Spectre gets his mech back. Oh, almost gets the remake kill.
I mean, Roadhog has plenty of HP. Don't need to worry about that, but the Ana falling does have a little bit of impact here, as the whole hog should be up very soon. I don't know why I went on a beat. It's very interesting. Let's continue on.
Definitely, we should continue on as Battalion now. Player waiting to try and find this opportunity, but Spectre almost back to another Diva mech. This could really be up to Spectre right now, trying to stay alive. Spoke too soon. That's going to be Battalion winning the first round here on Castillo in our final series. And now looking at a really good start, but now they don't have that Ana or Roadhog in play.
Yeah, losing those two heroes early on is a bit of a blow. So seeing that Spectre and Okita are not reliant on the Roadhog early on means that they can save that for later. Remember, again, best hero in the game for the 2v2 deathmatch style. And they're going to opt for it early. The Orisa Baptiste on the other side can play against this decently well. Immortality and Fortify, great counters to Bionade.
We saw that earlier. We saw this exact composition lineup where there was an Orisa Baptiste and a Hog Ana for one side. The Hog got the hook first, but the Orisa was able to fortify and keep themselves alive in the close quarters engage. So right now, Spectre making a very questionable move, going for said close quarters engage. Oh, that's a good halt, however, from Greninja. Brings Spectre out into the open, just builds up that drum ult percentage and gets a lot of damage pumped into them. So interesting to see the approach from Sigma. That hook could have been devastating, though.
Yeah, but almost as devastating is the amount of damage they're taking, but just a damage sponge giving out a lot of healing. Okita needs to keep these Bionades for their own healing, and it's Player who's giving out so much offensive pressure, preventing Okita from peeking their fellow Roadhog. Greninja can get in as much damage as they want.
Oh, but there's the hook you're looking for. Spectre finds the kill onto Player. Greninja goes right for Okita and eliminates the support. So now it's a Roadhog versus Orisa battle. Greninja has no gold, no Fortify available, and now Sigma tie up the series.
Yeah, Roadhogs are locked out now, and as well, one side missing an Ana, the other side missing an Ana. So it's a little bit of evidence to which comp is potentially best. We didn't see any Roadhog Zarya at this stage, but not having the Roadhog is a bit of a blow to continue on here for both teams. Just means that it's going to be a straight up matchup.
It'll be interesting to see what the two teams come out with. Sigma coming out with their Sigma Baptiste composition, while Battalion coming out with the Echo Mercy for that increased damage potential and that range capacity. So we'll see if Sigma are able to counter this. Already Okita getting pressured out heavily here on this Baptiste. Spectre trying to make their way to them, just barely able to save him, but the Immortality Field has to be invested. That could be crucial here, Ty.
Yeah, the loss of an early Immortality Field in a situation you don't necessarily need it does mean that Okita is a free target, and Spectre will just fall at any moment to a damage boosted Echo.
Yep. It took just as long as it took you to say that phrase for Battalion to bring us to match point here in the Transcendence Finals. It's going to be interesting. Can Sigma try to bring this back, or will Battalion cement themselves at the top here with Greninja and Player? It'll be interesting to see if they're able to do that, as now we head to our final, what could possibly be our final series, round number 4 here in this round. Spectre and Okita running the Devo Moira again, Greninja and Player. Interesting, a Symmetra. We have not seen this all day, Time Monster.
What? The Symmetra's in play, the turrets, the teleporter, the sneaky surprise from the backside. It looks like Spectre and Okita might have a clue what's going on, and they do! Sniffing it out from the bottom.
Yeah, but already that Symmetra beam starting to power up. Spectre loses their mech immediately and gets burned to the ground. All that's left is Okita, and it's going to be a very rough life for Moira, trying to stay alive, trying to run away from that level 3 beam, but you can't run away from a Symmetra. Battalion will win the Transcendence Finals. Congratulations to Greninja and Star Platinum for being your Transcendence 2v2 Elimination champions.
And a massive congratulations to all of the players who played tonight and won tonight. You all played excellently, and even our losers, haha nerds, you all played excellently as well. So great performance from everybody tonight, and you did your best. If you lost, and you still get my appreciation. But what I'm honestly shocked with is the fact that I don't have to drink any of this crap
Until tomorrow.
until tomorrow.
Until tomorrow. It never stops. But that is going to do it here for us today. Make sure, if you can, during our little break for the next day, that you donate, if you can, to our donation campaign for Project Hope for Ukraine campaign, to help those in Ukraine and Ukrainian refugees with supplies as medical kits, training for nurses, all that sort of such. Make sure you donate to Project Hope, and make sure you come tomorrow, because it's our final night here in the event week for Tranquility Gaming, and it's always the special one. It's the staff admin pug night. The Tranquility Gaming staff are taking on the community members, and we're going to see who's going to come out in this ever enticing, ever enthralling battle where anyone could come out. It's going to be in a very close series. Why are you looking at me like that, Ty?
Sorry, I'm just so enamored. Your eyes are beautiful, Bowsy.
Oh, thank you. I've gotten several compliments for them, but that is going to do it for us here today. Again, congratulations to all our 2v2 Elim champions. From everybody here in the production booth, including our producer, Laggy-san, and my amazing co-caster and fan of spicy food, Time Monster. My name has been Bowsy, and thank you all for watching. Till we meet again, we hope to see you again.